All right, welcome to the Parlour debate. If you're on if you're on Facebook or YouTube, please feel free to join on. Feel free to check me out on TikTok. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to bring you up so we can have the debate going. In the meantime, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. I'm about to set up the TikTok stream so we can all be live. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. TikTok is going to be live in 5 minutes, so just bear with me here, and then you can feel free to go to TikTok and request. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. People on Facebook, people on YouTube, I appreciate you joining. The show is going to start soon once I get the TikTok started because that's where I get the most audience. So bear with me. I know YouTube and Facebook people, you will not matter. Or not matter, but we get most of our, and we've already built our audience on TikTok anyway. So that's where we're getting our most of our viewers from. So if you want to join, if you want to debate, feel free to go on TikTok at Bia Parlour Podcast. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you want to debate, feel free to go to TikTok and request, and we'll bring you up here. All right. All right, all right. We will soon be live. Just 1 second and we're going to be live. We're about to get live on TikTok. Welcome those on YouTube. Welcome. Those on Facebook, welcome. We're going to be live on TikTok in 1 second and the show begins. All right, we have a show here. Our show just began. Just getting all these other processes lined up here so I don't have to be looking left, right when everything starts, right? But we have a show here, so feel free to request. If you're on TikTok, welcome back. We have the debate today, the Bia Parlour debate. So if you wanna join, please feel free to request. And while you're here, please feel free to like and share and all that good stuff. Follow if you haven't followed yet, and we'll go from there. How about that? All right. All right. If you're on YouTube, welcome. If you're on YouTube, welcome. If you're on YouTube, welcome. If you're on Facebook and you'd like to join the debate, feel free to follow me on on TikTok. About to turn this stuff up. Where's the volume here? If you're on Facebook and you'd like to join the debate, feel free to follow me on All right, let's keep liking and sharing this live. In the meantime, if you want to join the debate, feel free to join on TikTok. Value City, welcome back. Welcome to the Beer Parlour debate. We have a show here. I'm on an vex from me, Jerry. Yesterday I had an emergency, so I had to go. I had to go. They could not bear with me. If you're on YouTube and you want to join this debate, feel free to follow us on TikTok at the Beer Parlour Podcast and request. That's the only way we can bring you up. All right, Minister of Violence, thanks for joining, my brother. Appreciate you. Please let's like the live and get the show started. Now, you know that the like would help us go for you page. So I beg, help me like, I beg. If you're here, help me like, I beg. Let's get to the For You page. You know that the like would help us reach the For You page so we get more people here and join the and get this conversation started. So if you're here, please feel free. If you're on YouTube, feel free to like, share, all that good stuff on YouTube. Please, let's do that and get this show started. How about that? Austin Edet from Facebook. He said Tinubu is on the mandate and he's leading well. I mean, yeah, I give it to him. I mean, the elections they had the other day in Abuja, they almost cleared it, right? So, you know, I can't be arguing with you, but we're just debating. We're just here to educate ourselves anyway. So, Edet, welcome to the Beer Parlour debate. Welcome. And let's keep liking and sharing so more people can join the conversation. I don't know why this thing they change. I don't know why this thing keeps changing. While you're here, let's keep liking the show so we can get more people here. Lolly Baby, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Don't go come out the thing while I won't even see self. I don't know we are press now. So bring them back, no problem now. Voila. Voila. Well, anyway, we're still live. It's just I just lost a doc. Something that I actually need. Let me see, live info. Okay, that's not what I need. Anyway, while we're here, let's keep liking and sharing and all that. Lock panel. Let's lock this panel, right? I don't know what that means, but let's unlock it. Maybe locking it means you can't move it, right? Let's lock this on live performance. All right, let's keep liking and sharing to get more people here to join the debate. And if you're a Tinubu supporter, please feel free to request. But we can't get the show started if we've not hit 2,000 likes. So please feel free to like. Feel free to like and share. Feel free to like and share. Let's keep liking. Memory, Don C, Lexi, Michael, Lolly Baby, Alpha, Taiwo, Idemudia. Thank you guys for joining. The Chain, thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you so much for being here. All right, all right, all right. Say Kachibia Parlour. Yeah, so Namio, one and only. Let's keep liking. Let's keep liking and sharing the show. We have a show. We have a show. YouTube, I hope everything is going on well there. I see you guys. I see you guys on Facebook. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for liking. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This person, I don't know, AMG 7 star. Okay, that's your name. I was gonna say I couldn't see your name, but AMG 7 star. Thank you for joining. People on Facebook, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the Facebook thing, so I never really get very used to them. So they could not bear with me. Let me see if I can figure it out. But let me see what I can do here. All right, we have some people on Facebook. Mora Tochuku, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Austin Edet, thank you for being here on Facebook. I appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. Appreciate you. So because now they make this show what I'm with my brothers and sisters. If not for you guys, I would not be here. So thank you guys. If there's no encouragement of coming to watch and sharing, Mr. OA, my brother, thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you for being here. If no before now, for no they come, so I really appreciate you now. If I come the first day, only 2 people come. I think for discourage me, but all the love and support, now they make me the comeback. So I really appreciate it. I need to take them for granted. But in the meantime, let's keep liking and sharing so that we can have a show. We can get our show started. Facebook people, I appreciate you. Let's see. We have Austin Edet and Mora Tochuku Oscar. First to be here, my brother. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Now, YouTube people, I've not seen a lot of activity from YouTube. YouTube, make una show walking. Make una show walking by liking and sharing so that more people can come, Anyway, we're here. We have a show. We're at 653 likes, 700 likes on TikTok. On Facebook, I don't know how to see the metrics. It's a little bit tricky on Facebook and and YouTube to figure out the thing. But Tiobe Jule on Facebook, I see you. Moscow Oreyo, Ademola Adegoke. Thank you guys for coming. We're gonna have a show soon. We just need more people to join. We need more likes. And now the likes will go bring the people. So please keep liking so that we can get more people here and get the show started. The show no be just me. I need to like talk. And I know some people go say, you didn't let people talk. Not really, right? Not really. However, I like to talk, but not that much. But the show is for you guys. So I'd like you guys to keep liking and sharing and we get the show started. Anyway, let's see who's on Facebook. Ademola says, well done, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Let's keep liking from all areas, Facebook and YouTube. YouTube, I need to see plenty of activity there. But hopefully we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it right on YouTube as well. Maybe you guys just need a little bit of encouragement, right? We'll get it right. We're going to get it right. YouTube people, we love you too, We love you too. But let's keep liking and sharing. Let's keep liking and sharing, and hopefully we get more people here to get the show started. Let's keep liking and sharing and get the show started. How about that? Without you guys liking and sharing, we don't have a show, right? I will continue to talk, to encourage you now until we get to the numbers, we get to the right numbers and get more people here to get the show started. But in the meantime, not just to the encourage. Now I go to encourage. Anyway, and anyway. Thank you guys for joining. And listen, man, I'm only going to be able to be using free music moving forward because yesterday the music I used, the person who owned the music, he go, there are some copyright claims and all that good stuff. Because now I'm multi-streaming, right? It's a little bit trickier. When it was just TikTok wasn't that very, TikTok wasn't very specific on music you could use. I could use any music on TikTok. However, when it goes to YouTube is tricky. YouTube is very specific. They don't want me to use anything we get copyright on them. So I can't be using any music anymore. So I'm going to, when I go, bear with me. See the lo-fi music. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying the lo-fi music. That's all we can do, at least for now, until I figure out how I can use like Afro beats and stuff. I don't think I'll be able to touch Afro beats in the meantime anyway. African Mind AI saying only Sowore gets sense. I don't know, my brother. I don't know, but Sowore is not a major candidate, unfortunately, so we won't bother ourselves with that at this time. We're going to focus on the 3 major people where we know. Thank you, thank you for feeling the music. Thank you for feeling the music. It's not too bad, it's just slow and chill, Thank you. All right, let's see the people who are here. We have Memory, Don C, Michael, Alpha M, Taiwo, Z's Gaming. Thank you guys for being here. Tope, Francis, Mr. Realman, Aris, Sebit, Notice Talk. She's blessed on TikTok. Thank you so much for being here. Lolly Baby, African Mind AI. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Let's keep liking. We're at 1,670 likes. But we haven't gotten the number of people we need anyway. And we haven't gotten any requests yet. So hopefully we have a show today. Otherwise, we can't have a show. I no go debate myself, unfortunately. I can't debate myself, unfortunately. But in the meantime, let's keep liking and sharing. Let's keep liking and sharing. And hopefully we get the people who want to debate. And we'll have a show. But in the meantime, it's just me trying to encourage and... all that good stuff, right? All that good stuff. Let's keep liking and sharing. All right. Taiwo, thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate it. And if you'd like to debate while you're here, if you'd like to be a contender for today, feel free to request. While you're here, if you would want to debate, feel free to request. We have Chidi, we have Son of God, we have Yankee, we have GGG, we have Jafar Dauda, we have Nick, we have TEA. So while you're here, if you want to debate, feel free to request. We don't want you to be neutral. We want you to actually support somebody. And we also need a judge, 2 judges actually. So if you want to, let me turn down the music a little bit. If you'd like to volunteer to be a judge for today, feel free. Feel free. And let's keep liking. Hopefully we'll get who we need here to debate today. And hopefully we have a show today. Hopefully we have a show today. True Tomato on Facebook. Thank you for joining. All right. And I know, say, I know if you do it by myself. So we need to keep liking and sharing. We're at 2K likes already, but we still don't have a show. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Who are the people who were here the last? Okay, I don't know, man. But we're at 2K likes. Typically, when we don't reach 2K likes, we don't start show already. But it doesn't seem like anybody feels like debating today. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We need 3 contenders: Tinubu, Atiku, and Obi. We need you guys on here. Come here and debate. Come here and share ideas. Come here and debate. Come here and share ideas. Don't sit on the sideline. Let's share ideas together. Yeah, I don't blame them, man. I mean, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, the election in Abuja kind of you still see all this craziness happening in 2026. We're still doing this, and it's sad because me, I would be so. And I didn't follow it that much to even understand how it went, but I know they said Wike did a lot of weird things, right? A lot of weird things. So I didn't follow it enough to know the exact things that happened. But you would think in 2026 things would be getting better, right? But unfortunately, things can't get better when we have people like Wike, right? Sadly, Nigeria go better, that's for sure. At some point, Nigeria go better. Lolly baby, thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Lolly baby. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Lolly baby. Thank you so much. Hopefully we have a show today. I don't know. Hopefully we have a show today. Hopefully. Hopefully we are going to have a show today. Hopefully. Hopefully we have a show today. But in the meantime, let's keep liking. Thank you guys on Facebook for sharing and liking. I appreciate it. Now YouTube, I need to see any activity. Not seeing a lot of activity on YouTube. But I know you guys are there, so we'll get to it soon. The debate is going to start soon, as soon as we can, as soon as we have the right people who want to debate. Carefully ready. Daughter of Zion, thank you guys for being here. Alpha M, resemble, yo, that name was a little bit hard. Moko Freelance, Outer, resemble Rich Emma. Took me a minute to figure that one out. Anyway, let's keep liking and sharing, and hopefully we'll get the people who want to debate today. And if you're here and you'd like to debate, feel free to request so we can get the show started. Feel free to request so we can get the show started. All right. All right. No requesters yet, so we can't start our show yet. Hilary Uchen, I greet you, Jerry, on Facebook. Thank you for joining. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, you'd like to join the debate, feel free to follow me on TikTok at Parlour Podcast. And that's the only way that's the only way I can bring you on. I can't bring you on Facebook or YouTube. So feel free to come to TikTok and request at the Beer Parlour Podcast. And that's the only way I can bring you on. In the meantime, we are 3K likes, no requesters, no contenders. I don't know if we're going to have a show today because, I can't do this by myself, right? I can't do it by myself. Hopefully we have a show today. Hopefully we have a show today. Feel free to request. Feel free to request and so we can get the show started. And there are new questions actually, so it's not going to be the questions that we've been using all this while. So these would be new or fresh questions. These would be fresh questions. So even if you've debated before on this stage, feel free to request. All right. All right, we might not have a show today because no one is. I guess the morale on the low based on the report results. Like Star said, the morale for the election is getting low. Because I don't blame people, right? I mean, when you want to do the right thing and the forces way past you, just they overwhelm you, they suppress you. You can't blame people, right? It's just what it is. I mean. You can try and try. I think I forget this doctor's name. He was saying Wike cannot stop us from voting and all that good stuff, But and this is why, this is why I have a lot of backlash for Tinubu the man, right? Because Tinubu, I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. Even though today we're not talking about Tinubu per se, but we'll talk about him tomorrow. Let me hold my reservation. But hey, man, it's sad because when you want to do the right thing and the forces we just did there, they suppress your efforts. It's not easy to keep keeping on. They say keep on keeping on, but it's not easy to keeping on. It's a little bit tedious when you want to keeping on, and forces just they suppress you. It's not everybody can keeping on, you know. Not everybody can keeping on. So shout out to the people who went out yesterday to go vote. Shout out to the people who went out yesterday to vote or to try to vote, but it didn't come out well for them. It didn't turn out well for them, you know. We have Mr. Star here. Today in a debate, though, we're not talking about any other thing apart from debate, yeah? So if you want to talk about something else, unfortunately, we won't be able to talk about that. We're sticking to the script. We're sticking to the schedule. Yeah, Val Gabo Kunola say congratulations to Wiki, right? I mean, right? It's sad, right? Isn't it? Anyway, Mr. Star, thank you for joining. Who do you support? Mr. or Miss? Who do you support?
I do support Peter Obi. I do support him.
All right. Would you be able to do you have like 30 minutes to spare to debate?
I don't know if I'll call it a debate, but I'll just give him my opinions about how I feel about things.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate what happened.
I hear you, Mr. Yeah. Sorry, thank you for joining, by the way, but today's show is structured for structured debate. So we're not I'm
not sure if I can handle the debate.
I hear you.
I'm not sure. I just wanted to give my opinion about how I felt about the election.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Star, but that's not what we want to do today. I'm sorry I keep cutting you off, but I would just want to stick to the script. I want to
that's fine.
Yeah, thank you so much, though. Thank you so much for joining.
It's okay.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, we need a Tinubu Atiku or Obi supporter here. We want to do a structured debate today. Hopefully, we can have this show. We've had the show for a few weeks now, and but tomorrow we're gonna have opinion. We can talk about opinions and stuff. But today is gonna be a structured debate. And for the people who are here, I appreciate you being here. But it has to be a structured debate. We need to have a structured debate where we can share our ideas and opinions and thoughts about the process, the people we support, all that good stuff. That's what we want to do today. But Mr. I appreciate you for joining. Oluron Timi Ogundijo from Facebook, I greet you. Thank you for joining. If you'd like to join the debate, feel free to follow me on TikTok at the Beer Parlour Podcast and request, and that's the only way you can join here. But you need to be a Tinubu, Obi, or Atiku supporter to join the debate. Hopefully we have a show today. Otherwise, I don't know. I think I'm going to give myself another 30 minutes. And if we don't have the requirements to have a show, then, it's going to be what it is. And we'll try again next week and have the show. But until then, let's keep liking and sharing. And people on Facebook, let's keep liking as well. And sharing. People on YouTube, let's keep liking and sharing as well. And hopefully we have a show today. Hopefully we have a show today. Hopefully. In the meantime, let's listen to the music. And if you know a Tinubu supporter, please feel free to share this live with them. Aris, thank you for the gift. Appreciate you. Let's like and share, and hopefully we can get people who would want to debate today. I mean, I'm not too vexed, Jerry. I mean, it's Nigeria, right? But they say freedom is not free. So, this freedom we will find. We go take it by force from these people, from people like Wike. We've seen Wike. Wike is the weak man. Wike is not a tough guy. He's only tough when he has the military and all that stuff behind him. He's not a tough guy by no stretch of the imagination. We saw what the young kid did to him the other day, right? He was shivering, almost shit his pants. He's not a tough guy. But I know if you remove everything with around him, he's a weak guy. He can't stand his ground. We know he's a weak guy. He just they masquerade the power, the government power we can get. That's his strength. If you remove all of that, he's a weak guy. He's not a tough guy by no stretch of the imagination. But it's what it is. And they say freedom, no, they're free. If you expect these people to allow you to do, if you expect them to allow you to just get your way as a citizen, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And Nigerians, unfortunately, the way our leaders, they're spineless. Now, so all of us too, they're spineless. So it's just what it is, right? I know one die. Fella say, I know one die. Mama dey for house. Papa dey for house. Pikin dey for house. Pikin go chop. Nobody won't buy. Nobody won't buy. But sadly, freedom is not free. It's just what it is. Freedom no dey free. If you keep letting these people run over you, they will keep running over you. Someone like Wike, who's a weak man, literally a weak man, and he knows that. He knows he's a weak man. If you come out all the police, all that stuff, he no fit look you stand eye to eye, they talk to you. He's a weak guy. He's not tough. But anyway, we need to have a show today, and it's going to be another 30 minutes. I'll be here, and if we can't get people who request, then we'll call it a day and try again next week. But tomorrow we're still going to have a different show anyway. We're going to have a different show tomorrow, maybe on politics, some topic on politics. We'll talk about it and go from there. But if we can't have a show today, that's what it is. Or maybe if we can't have this debate today, we'll switch the topic to something different, and maybe we can turn it around and have more people or have other topics we want to talk about. By the way, I just dropped a monologue on my TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, so feel free to check it out. It's on Nigeria being the giant of Africa. I gave some metrics, some facts, where you talk about Nigeria being the giant of Africa. Are we really the giant of Africa? So I left that monologue on my YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, so please feel free to check it out. Maybe in 20 minutes, if I can't get people on here to debate, I'll switch the topic to that, so we can at least have a show instead of just calling it a day, because I made out today to have a show on the debate. But if we can't have a show today on the debate, I'll turn it around and hopefully we can get people who would be interested to talk about that. But in the meantime, let's keep liking and sharing this live, and hopefully we can get more people here to join the debate. How about that? Let's keep liking and sharing, and hopefully we can get more people to join the debates. Hopefully. Oh, I messed it up. I'll bring the video back. I'm sorry about that. There we go. Trying to do something else. All right. I'm just going to leave you here for now. Let me add the source here instead. Image. I'm trying to create a new scene, so Dionia Williams say Wike is a politician, not a weak man. Men are weak without a political power. That's not true, my brother. You get men, we get steal of balls. Dionia Williams, that's not true. You get men, we get their balls now steal, we didn't take dua. You get men, we be like that. Politics or no political power. That's not necessarily true, my brother. I disagree with you on that. I disagree with you on that one, my brother. All right, I think I'm going to be switching the topic here in 5 minutes. In 10 minutes, I'll say 10 minutes. I'm just setting this new scene, but I'll put it back to the debate scene. All right, the debate scene. Smear Goal, he say, what's the debate? The debate is on who should lead Nigeria next. That's what the debate is about. But it's structured. It's not just, shouting and going back and forth. Preacher's boy say, I agree with you. You don't need political alliance to be a fit leader. Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you on that. YouTube people, feel free to like and share and hopefully get more people here to join this show. All right, I don't think we're going to have a debate today. How about that? I don't think we're going to have a debate today because no one is, I guess everybody don't weak, right? Everybody don't really, it's sad, right? I heard even the, what did they call them? The ADC people, they didn't even have any polling unit agents. It's ridiculous. It's sad. The slogan, I know they give shishi, or we know they give shishi. That slogan is nice. However, does it translate to votes? If it worked for you last time, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Peter Obi needs to look into his strategy. This Abuja own was a testing ground for him, right? The Abuja elections was a testing ground for him, and we've seen what happened there. Some people said they didn't have a polling agent at the units. It's sad. If that's true, it's sad. But anyway, we don't have a debate today. Sadly, we don't have a debate today. We're gonna switch the topic here to this. We're gonna switch the topic here to this. So feel free to request. Feel free to request here if you would like to talk about this. And again, on Facebook, if you would like to join the show, if you're on Facebook and like to join the show, feel free to follow me on TikTok and feel free to request. Let's talk about this. Is Nigeria really the giant of Africa? Is Nigeria really the giant of Africa? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Thank you for the likes. Preacher's boy, thank you for being here. Yeah, it says the turnout was bad as well. I don't know why that is, man. It's sad. It is sad, my brother. I'm not gonna lie for you. It's sad. It is sad. It's really sad. Anyway, we have a new show here because the debate was not going to happen. Unfortunately, I guess everybody don't tire for the political fair in Nigeria, right? So let's switch it up. Let's switch it up to Nigeria being the giant of Africa, and hopefully we can get people to join this conversation. And if we don't, then I guess we'll call it a day for today, and we'll try again tomorrow. How can I request to come up? I would think there's a request button somewhere. I don't see it on my screen, but let me see how you can. I would think there's a request button, my brother. Let me see. I guess we'll call it a day for today. Let me see. Terry Cargo say, we giant of Africa. Who keeps fooling you guys? Let's talk about it then. Feel free to request and let's talk about it. How about that? Feel free to request. Yeah, that's a good question, my brother. I don't see the request button either. So let's see. All right, Preacher's boy figured it out. Me, I know if you figure him out, self. All right, Preacher's boy is requesting and the CEO. So I guess really nobody wanted to debate today then. Because the moment I switch the topic, two people don't request. Una be wary. Una no serious at all. Press on the two human logo. It says press on the two human logo. Where is the two human logo? Anyway, thank you, Star, for telling us. All right, thank you. Thank you, Star, for telling us, and thank you for still being here. I appreciate it. Mr. Savvy, thank you. Yeah, 2 viewers just requested, and they're up here. Una get wahala. Una don't want debate. Since I don't dare, they wait for people who go debate. They look me eye. This is why I never see anything today. Thank you, Star, for telling us how to get on here. Appreciate it. But anyways, Preacher's Boy, let's hear your thought on this topic. We switch it up. We're not having a debate for today, sadly. Anyway, Preacher's Boy, thank you for joining. What are your thoughts on this? Is Nigeria really the giant of Africa?
No, I don't think so. I think we have the potential for it, but I don't think we currently are giant in any form of way. We can actually maybe we have the voice of Africa, maybe probably because of the population and because of we are almost everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So when they say Africa, the first picture that comes to mind is Nigeria.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, but when it comes to innovation, everything you list here, I don't think we are anywhere to be found.
Yeah.
When you check our passports, the regard they give to our passport is to clearly show you that that's not the case. And it's sad, but it's a reality. Anybody can lie to themselves and be like, "Oh, we are strong, we are this, we are that." But at the end of the day, when you hold your passport and you try to go out of the country, then the reality will hit you, and you know that you are getting nowhere.
Yep.
And actually, it's not a debate, but I was talking about the voters turnout. So I think this idea that I know definitely Nigeria democracy and voting, whatever, is a big problem. But it would be better for opposition to try not to discourage the voters by saying, "Oh, the election is rigged already. There's nothing we can do." If you say that, people will not come out. You already accept your defeat. Because people will be like, "Okay, you're already sounding like there's no way for you because you say, oh, without this law we cannot win."
Yep.
So when you say that, people already accept that they cannot win. They already accepted the defeat. They will not come out. It will look like a waste of time for them.
Yep.
So they should rather be trying to motivate the voters, their supporters, and try to put up a fight.
Yeah.
If at
Can
all,
I respond to that?
Before you respond, please don't unmute yourself. Let him finish before you respond,
Okay.
please. Yeah, you're going to talk about it, but let's not unmute ourselves so we don't have a rowdy house. Appreciate it.
So if at the end of the day, they now try to rig the election or they do something funny, at least it should be obvious because at least people will come out and they try to vote, and then there will be a lot of faces. There will be a representation for the opposition. That way, everybody can put up a fight, even though they might still, because it is what is happening. If anybody have the opportunity to rig the election, they would do it.
Absolutely.
You can say,
but let's not deviate. Let's focus on the topic so that we don't go get plenty conflicting issues. But
So,
if you want to submit on this topic so that we can move to the next caller here.
I submit I take the negative side. I'm not giant of anything.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. And I did a monologue today, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, feel free to check it out as well. People on YouTube, I don't see say YouTube people don't they come now, so I appreciate you guys for being here. Busy Slim, Patrick Morrison, and I don't know, I only see 2 of you now, but thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Busy Slim say we are best in scamming. I don't even think we're best in scamming. India, they finish work when it comes to that regards too. So I don't know if we're best in that, but thank you guys for being here. Facebook people, I appreciate you and thank you guys for still being here. Let's keep liking and get to 10K likes. Hopefully we can get more people to join the conversation. Una no great debate today. Una think that they do me, una they whine me. But I appreciate you guys for being here. Really, I really appreciate you guys. All right, CEO Coded. Let's hear your thoughts on this topic, please. Welcome to the Parlour podcast. Again, welcome back to the Parlour podcast.
Okay, good evening. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Good everybody on the panel. It's good to hear your voices. Good to see. Well, not see your face. It's good to see you on the panel.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I may differ a little bit. Okay, Nigeria has the potential to be the giant of Africa.
Yep.
The potential. That's settled. Nobody's arguing that. But I will also again say that Nigeria also is still the current giant of Africa, whether you like it or not. Because how do you determine a giant? I mean, what indices do you use to score? In which context are you referring to the giant of Africa? Okay, if Nigeria is not the giant of Africa, who is the giant of Africa?
Let me help you with that question. And I made it easy for all of us. The HDI ranking, the infrastructure,
Yeah, HDI ranking, yes,
innovation, AI and digital readiness, right? All that stuff. You can use that to rank. There is no one country in Africa that is the giant, because Egypt, for instance, ranks high in some areas. South Africa ranks high in some areas. Mauritius ranks high in some areas. Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, they rank high in some areas. There's no clear winner in all areas. However, Nigeria does not rank high in any of those areas. You see what I'm saying?
We also do not rank very low in those areas. We are just somewhere in between, somewhere there.
No, we're in the middle. We're in the middle. We're not high, we're not bottom. We're in the middle. That doesn't make us giants, though.
Well, but okay. I don't know. When you say innovation, sorry, where is it now? I saw someone we don't like innovation. Nigeria is still. I don't know where you got that from, but Nigeria is still the tech hub of Africa.
That's not true. That's not true. Nigeria is not the tech hub of Africa. Have you seen South Africa? South Africa manufactures airplanes. They manufacture drones.
In terms of innovation, in terms of AI, in terms of sorry, what do you call it now? In terms of banking. Our banking is one of the most advanced in Africa. So I will say that.
Please stop unmuting yourself. Is someone talking in the background? Please stop unmuting yourself. Who's the person unmuting? Please.
It's Terry. I'm always talking.
I'm going to ask you to please mute yourself so we don't have a rowdy house. Please.
Okay.
You get a chance. You'll get your chance to talk, and you talk about everything. If you want to write them down on a pad, that's okay. But please, let's not interrupt so we don't have a rowdy show. Please, thank you. Mr. CEO, if you want to continue.
In terms of manufacturing, we may not rank as South Africa, but I think there's a report also somewhere that I saw that Nigerian manufacturing output is the largest in Africa. I don't know if you saw that report. Now, Nigeria has the highest manufacturing output in Africa. So also in terms of...
I haven't seen that report, but if you've read the report... One second, Mr. CEO. One second, Mr. CEO. If you've read the report, in what area, what commodity are we manufacturing in mass?
Well, what they did was just the total manufacturing output.
Let's hear one. I mean, they must have listed a few, right? If you read the report, they must have listed a few.
Well, I didn't dig down into the report. What I just saw was the total manufacturing output dollar value for Nigeria ranks higher than what South Africa is doing. I mean, South Africa used to be at the top of the list, but Nigeria now, in terms of output, does better than South Africa. Also, in terms of innovation and tech, Kenya used to be the destination for Africa, but Nigeria has taken over that because Nigerian tech startups attracted a lot more investment in 2024, 2023.
We have that on grassroots level, but when it comes to like large scale, Nigeria is not topping, unfortunately. South Africa is still topping when it comes to AI, digital governance, all that tech stuff. South Africa is still topping in Africa. We have Mauritius even. We have Egypt, Rwanda. Those countries that still... Nigeria is nowhere near the top. We have these things on grassroots level.
So that's why I said, I mean, when you say giant of Africa, in between there somewhere, we're still the giants. We should be doing more than what we're doing currently. Of course, we have poor infrastructure. I hope that we'll do better than that. We have weak governance. Our problem is not as much as governance as we have with institutions. Because if we have very strong institutions, then governance becomes easy. Because I think I read a report somewhere that said, someone went to, I can't remember the country now, and he said, what does your PM do? I said, the PM just goes around every day, shakes people, say hi to them. He said, because he's not the one that runs the country. The institutions runs the country.
You said, what does the who do? You said, what does the who do?
No, I said, I can't remember that someone was relating about a particular country in the in Asia.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, what exactly does your prime minister do?
PR, I see.
Yeah, PM does. And
PM, I see.
The PM is just a PR person. He just goes, shakes people, smile at them, and everything. Because he's not the prime minister that runs the country per se. It is the institutions that runs the country. It gives a policy direction, it gives leadership, and then the institutions take over, and then they run the country. But unfortunately for us in Nigeria, over the years, Our institutions have been eroded, they've been tribalized, they've been religionized, they've been bastardized, if you want to use that word. So until we get to that point where we will begin to develop strong institutions independent of any political alliance or affiliation, then we'll begin to talk about serious development. I mean, sorry, I'm going to say something about the election as well. I'm so disappointed today because I think I've said this so many times. Look, I'm not an APC supporter, but I support this current administration because I'm in corporate Nigeria.
Yeah.
And because of what we in corporate Nigeria see that is doing, we're able to say, okay, these steps are in the right direction. But I'm afraid of a time where we'll have a Pharaoh who doesn't know Moses. It's not every candidate that APC presents that I'm going to like for some reason. So we need strong opposition so that we can, okay, no, this person doesn't appear to be sound upstairs. Let me divert. I mean, let me throw my support behind this other person.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not seeing that.
Fair enough.
And that is one of the bane of our problems.
Fair enough, Mr. CEO.
Mr.
CEO, well, unfortunately, I don't want to delve into other topics, so we don't conflate the issue. Maybe we just stick to this one. But if you want to submit on this topic, so we can move forward.
It's still, I understand. But you still dovetail into governance, because if you don't have a very strong and robust system, then how are you going to improve governance? Governance continuously will be weak because nobody is holding them to account. Nobody. I mean, there's no accountability, so to say. It's like whatever they say goes, and we all don't have. I mean, we can't contend it. The entire institution of government is controlled by just one system.
Yep.
So it's whatever the person at the top of the affair says that goes. And that is one of the reasons why we're having a weak governance. I mean, you see the US House, it's almost split like 50-50. So, I mean, you can't just come and throw everything at them. Everybody say yes. So there are still some people there that will say no to some of those things. Then innovation, okay, we've talked about innovation. Then infrastructure, of course. We have, unfortunately, very, very poor infrastructure. Someone was talking about power today. Like, the current grid that we have in Nigeria was set up by the British, and for about 60 years, we did not add to it. We did not expand it.
Yep.
So that's the reason why we're having these collapses. And unfortunately, our case was not held by the years that we had military administration, because they did not have a developmental plan. They just came into power not because they had some very robust program to develop the country. It was just their own ambition that was driving it.
Yeah, but what has stopped, let's even say, for the Tinubu government, Tinubu, for one, he campaigned on the idea of, if we don't fix the electricity issue, don't vote for us the next time, next time, right? Which many other presidents, one second, Mr. CEO, one second, Mr. CEO, which many other presidents have also campaigned on, by the way. However, I just had high hopes that this man, even though he's not my preferred candidate, but I had high hopes that he would at least do what he said, because, he's Jagaban. He can do whatever, right? But the guy, the forehand in so many areas. And in terms of this electricity, what's stopping him from calling a state of emergency? Anyhow, you can produce power. Anybody who can produce power, produce that power. The Nigerian electricity problem is not witchcraft. It's something that can be solved. But Tinubu, unfortunately, is not even putting in a lot of effort to get it done. Imagine a country of 200 people still generating 6,000, 5,000 megawatts of electricity, And if we want to still keep blaming the military or the British people who started, at the time, that's what they thought would be sustainable. This is 2026. I don't know any country that uses a national grid. Why don't we have a local, like every state have its own local generation, its own transmission, everything? Why can't we do that? Why is that like a rocket science thing that, nobody can still figure out to this day? I don't know. We shouldn't keep making excuses. These things can happen. These things can work.
Okay. Can I come in now? Okay. Unfortunately, the truth of the matter is that no administration can fix the electricity problem for us to have 24 hours power supply in 10 years, and that's the truth.
That's not the truth, my brother. That's not the truth. That's your opinion. That's not the truth.
That's not my opinion.
That's your opinion.
I'm talking. Hold on. I'm talking from a vantage position because I operate in that sector. And that's why I said, I will give you the statistics. Currently, Nigeria has the capacity to generate about 14,000 megawatts of electricity. We're currently doing about 10,000 megawatts. And out of that 10,000, about 4,000 out of it are stranded because the national grid can only evacuate about max 6,000 megawatts, which we don't even do because of efficiency losses and the rest of them. So we're only able to deliver about 5,000 megawatts. Now, our power needs grows at the rate of 5,000 megawatts per year. So that means in the next 5 years, we'll have grown to 5,000 times 5, that's another 25,000 megawatts. The cost of building a 10 megawatt power station is about $17 million. So the amount of money that is required to fix electricity, at least to push what because for us to have sustainable electricity, we need about 100,000 megawatts. For us to deliver that, we need about $150 billion. Money we don't have. So what is the best solution? The best solution is to do captive power solutions and then allow the states to develop mini grids so that each state can now develop its own, can control its own electricity market. And that's what the government has done, to take out electricity from the exclusive list and put it in concurrent list so that states can now partner with generating companies, transmission companies, or distribution companies to find local solutions to their own peculiar electrical needs. That's why we have Geometric in Aba doing that. Also, in Lagos and some other estates in Abuja, we have captive power solutions. There are estates in Lagos that have 24 hours power supply because that's captive power solution. So if we have a multiple effect of those around the country, then we can begin to talk about having, reasonable 24 hours or uninterruptible power supply. But that is not going to be done by government financing. It has to be private financing.
Absolutely.
But private financing, but unfortunately, private financing will not come to play until we have cost-reflective tariff in the electricity sector. As I'm talking to you now, the government is subsidizing the electricity.
As they should, though. As they should, though.
Well, no, not really. Because the thing is that if you have the money to subsidize, it's not a problem. But we are borrowing. We don't have the money. Nigeria pretends sometimes to be a nanny state, but we don't have the capacity to be a nanny to everybody. There are people that can pay for electricity. Those that can pay for it, let them pay for it. Those that cannot pay, then will not quantify and then find some way to give them some succor. Maybe give them some sort of voucher or something. Because if you do a blanket subsidy, we've tried it before, it never worked. Because people rigged the system. Just like when we're subsidizing, petroleum. We were practically subsidizing the entire West Africa, Central Africa region for petroleum. Because people bring fuel into the country, they claim they bring 1 million liters. The government paid them subsidy on 1 million liters. Meanwhile, they only been brought about 500,000 liters. And even the 500,000 they brought did not stay in Nigeria. They find their way across the border to other countries.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me ask you a question so that we can move forward with this conversation. So, do you think this problem is unique to Nigeria?
Well, I will not say it's unique to Nigeria. It's just our approach to solving the problem that is the issue.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked you that question is this, right? If the problem is not unique to Nigeria, why can't we go and understudy the places that have had similar issues and then use whatever solutions and try it in Nigeria? Why can't we do it instead of trying to create the wheel ourselves? Why not we go somewhere that has had these same issues in terms of electricity and try to copy what they did and then implement it in Nigeria? At least try it and see if it works. Why can't we do that?
That's what we've done. Jonathan did something. Okay, let me tell you what Jonathan did. Yeah. Jonathan knew that the electricity industry was not cost reflective. So they developed what is called a multi-year tariff plan that, look, you guys are paying 70 naira now, but you're actually supposed to be paying 200 naira. But we cannot just say you should pay 200 naira. So what we're going to do, we'll develop a template so that every year we had a certain margin to it, so that as at the time that the cost becomes reflective, we can now attract investment into that sector. As I'm talking to you today, the electricity templates the electric company template in Nigeria is not bankable. No bank is going to give them money because it's not cost reflective. If I'm going to borrow money to set up a sector, I need to be able to recoup that. I just give you an example. To set up a 10 megawatts power station, about $17 million. How long will it take me to recoup that investment with the current charges that we're
Did you say million or billion?
$1 million. Just for a 10 megawatts power station. 10 megawatts power station will probably power just my estate in Lagos.
Is this like an international standard? Is this like a standard internationally? I've been a Nigerian standard.
Yeah, that's international standard.
I don't necessarily agree, because we've seen how costs are being inflated in Nigeria. Like, we can go, for instance, the coastal highway right now. You see how they're inflating the costs.
I'm giving you global standards. I work with GE. and I've worked with a couple of electric. I mean, I'm sure you know General Electric.
Yeah, I know
I've
General
worked with
Electric.
and so that's like the template. And I tell you what it entails. If you are doing a thermal station, you need to run gas pipelines to where the thermal station is going to be. You need to buy generators. You need to develop a mini distribution network within that space.
All right.
So all this costs money.
All right.
The other option is to go the
Mr.
but
CEO,
renewable is also
Mr.
real
CEO,
estate.
just 1 second, just so we can move forward with the conversation. You can stay in the guest room here. Let's talk to other people just so we don't keep them waiting. But I appreciate your thoughts and opinion on this topic. Yeah. Let's move to a different person here and keep the conversation going. But in the meantime, YouTube people, thank you for being here. Facebook people, thank you for being here. Emmanuel Israel from Facebook says electricity problem can be solved if only they want to solve it. I agree with that sentiment as well. But a lot of things Mr. CEO said also makes a lot of sense. But I agree with that thought anyway. Mr. O says our problem is unique to us. I don't know that our problem is unique to us anyway, because nobody we first that they use electricity. Any problem, the way, in my opinion, any problem where man create, like a man-made problem, there's a man-made solution to it. That's my philosophy of life anyway. But I hear you, Mr. Oye, and thank you for being here. All right. Benjamin Williams say, I'm a big fat moped from YouTube. What do? I don't know what you're going to do, my brother, but thank you for being here. What's up, bro? Paul Olex. Thank you guys for being here. Anyway, TikTok people, let's keep liking. We couldn't have our debate today, by the way, because nobody agreed debate today, so we had to switch the topic and bring it back to Nigeria, right? And I appreciate you guys for being here. In the meantime, let's keep liking and get to 10K likes. We're almost there. We're at 4,000 likes right now. Let's keep liking and hopefully get to 10K likes. Let's see the people who are here and just give them a quick shout out. We have VJ, we have Prince Asemota, we have Hercules. Hercules, thank you for coming back to the Beer Parlour podcast. Miles, we have Chima. Chima, thank you for being here. Uncle K, Victor Aguntai, Soso the Solutionist, thank you for being here. The Fave Wheels, Friday, Anthony, Don C, thank you for still being here, Don C. Tio Real, thank you for being here. Big Bird Yinka, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Who else is here? Ele Brown, Terry Cargo, thank you for being here. Terry Cargo, you're going to be next to give your thoughts on this topic. CEO Code, thank you for being here. Torpedo, thank you guys so much for being here. All right, Mr. Terry, let's hear your thoughts on the topic.
Okay, are you getting me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you for giving me this place to talk. Actually, I really appreciate the fact that I'm having the opportunity to explain things to most of my Nigerian brothers and family, because I've come to understand that they go everywhere shouting, "We are the giants of Africa. We are the giants." But I asked them just one question: what are the criteria to be a giant of Africa? Of which most of them they can't even give me explain it. They can't even explain themselves very well. For example, the criteria of being a giant of Africa, your GDP must be put in place like one of the best. Innovation in tech, political influence, per capita income, infrastructure. So let's start with the GDP. When we go to the gross domestic product of Nigeria, I would say my brothers from Nigeria, they are stealing from past glories, from independence. The way Nigeria was structured, had it been Nigeria kept to the way it was structured, today they could have been the best country in the world, even in Africa, even more than China. But due to the bad system they incorporated in their daily lives, today they are down in the bottom. When we talk gross domestic product, we talk of countries like Egypt, Algeria, South Africa. Nigeria comes like fifth, which makes it which what can you conclude from that? They are not even among the first three. You go to innovation of tech and tech. Countries like Rwanda is topping the list. Countries like Kenya, Mauritius, countries that are the ones on it right now. When we go now to political influence, this is a country that has almost 200 million people, but they are still being influenced by the white man. The white man knows that if Nigeria is not free, they will control the whole Africa, and they keep influencing politics in Africa through Nigeria. Nigeria is like the head boy of the white man. The white man comes to use them to destabilize other regions. When you come to per capita income, come on, People on the street suffering everywhere in Nigeria. The per capita income is so low. How can you call yourself a giant of Africa? Weight of infrastructure. Just look at the infrastructure. Go to countries like South Africa. Let's not even go far. Just climb towards the north, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. Let's go to the south. Just look at Angola. Above all, just little Rwanda. Look at Rwanda. How can you be calling yourself giant of Africa? Stop living with the past glories of, because I won't lie, I always appreciate the fact that those in the past, the 1960s, the 65s, the 70s, Nigeria was so good. The best teachers came all the way from Nigeria. Their system was so good. Things were happening. In literature, we know of the big guy. In fact, Nigeria was that strong in the past, not now. Nigeria is instead going down, 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 down in every aspect. The only aspect you see Nigeria on top is music, and we all know why, because of the population. So, my dear brothers, for us, if you need to fix your country, you better accept the fact that you guys are the worst and the less people right now for you to grow in the long run. Because if you keep calling we are the giant, in what field? Even in football, you can't stand it. Even in everything, you can't stand it, bro. So before you call yourself giant of Africa, put yourself down. Look around. I was in Port Harcourt last year. Come on, I was laughing. While I was just from Angola, I came to Port Harcourt. I was like, these people don't really know what they call giants of Africa. Just go to a neighboring country, Angola. Just go to Rwanda. Or you just leave from there, you climb straight to South Africa. Then you understand that Nigeria can never be. In fact, those who are traveling like me, I'm a traveler. You see I'm a cargo. I travel. So I've been seeing African countries. Unless you go to other African countries, and it was me, I can say my mom is from Nigeria. So I know Nigeria very well also. So if I'm telling you that Nigeria is the worst place when it comes to to be called giants of Africa. Let's go to Ethiopia, my brother. Have you gone to Ethiopia? Just Addis Ababa. You talk infrastructures, go to Ethiopia and see it. You talk innovation, go to Ethiopia and see it. The system is broken. Okay, let's just go to political influence. Look at your political influence. The system, how the system has been arranged. There's no, with the three arms of government, it's porous. You guys have nothing to show for now.
All right, so 1 second, my brother Terry Cargo. When you say you guys, I know I guess I should be asking, are you Nigerian? Before we talk about this, because I don't want any non-Nigerian to come here the airboss. Like we know.
100%. I'm in Nigeria. My mom is from Enugu.
All right. All right, but take them easy. They do you guys now. You know, if you're Nigerian, claim Nigerian. Don't say you guys, right?
No, okay. The reason why I say you guys, but I always keep shouting to them because they keep saying giant. We are not giants, my brother. We are suffering in every aspect.
All right.
So let's not call ourselves giants. The earlier we accept this and try to move forward to help ourselves, the better for us.
Fair enough, Mr. Terry. Thank you for that. Your thoughts on the topic. But let's move forward and feel free to be here if you want to be here. We can circle back to you. But in the moment, let's go to the chat here and let's please keep liking. We're almost at 5K likes, but we need to hit 10K likes so we can get more people here to join the conversation. And let's see the chat here on TikTok. Big Bird Yinka, can you define the word emotion? Oyana, less depressed. Make you define emotion for Big Bird Yinka. Anyway, let's see. Less depressed. Hold on, I will be right back. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Where, my brother? All right. I guess we're going to skip you and go to a town lag. But in the meantime, let's read the chat. Let's talk to the people in the chat here. Less depressed says, Addis Ababa is beautiful. A town lag says, your opinion and you are wrong at speaker. Not necessarily a town lag, but we'll get to you in 1 second. So bear with me here. Let's just finish with the chat. And Mandy Lex, thank you for sending us some gifts. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Mandy Lex, thank you for gifting us. Appreciate it. All right, let's see here still. Okay. Mr. Oye has a lot of disagreements. I don't know if you go want to come up here today and give us your disagreements and your thoughts. But yeah, every opinion here is valid. Nobody goes scold anybody. It's all opinions, right? But the facts still matter regardless of your opinion. When you talk about the HDI, when you talk about innovation, when you talk about education and research, we have a lot of universities in Nigeria, but none of them is up there. When you talk about research, which researches would they bring for Nigeria come out, right? Where the word they use, we can't even solve our food problem. We still import a ton of food in 2026 in Nigeria. Come on now. There's a lot of metrics and facts that you can use to say, okay, this country is the top, this country is not the top. And there's no one country again that is at the top, because every other the top countries they rank high in some metrics, and some other metrics they rank a little bit lower too. But anyway, that's your opinion, and we can hear that. And you are entitled to that. But I appreciate everyone that's here. Let's keep liking. We're at 5,000 likes now. Let's get to 10K likes. Appreciate you guys. All right, it's Mr. Etan Lag. Let's hear your thoughts on the topic.
Okay. So real quick, what I
Sorry,
said
my bad.
was wrong about was.
Wait, am I next?
I was talking about.
No, let's depress. Let's get to you after. I know you were supposed to be next, but let's get to you after Etan Lag.
Okay.
All right.
So what I said it was wrong. His opinion was just about the GDP when he said Nigeria is not even top 5 when Nigeria is number 3. So there's no argument about that. I mean, that's why I said it was his opinion, but it was wrong. Nigeria is number 3 nominal GDP. There's no questioning that, behind South Africa and what's the other one? Is it Egypt or somebody? So there's no questioning that one. So as far as every other thing, right, it's okay to have emotions, right? Everybody is emotional. Everybody wants things to be good, that is very normal, but sometimes let's not let emotions take the best of us so that we can be objective. So because when you're very emotional, you ignore some things, when we say things like, okay, places like Angola, Rwanda, this and that are better. I've been to these places, so I know. Now again, I'm not making an excuse for Nigeria's population, our size. I mean, these places are small places. Rwanda, as an example, yes, people say it's clean, it's neat and everything. It's a small country. What's the population, the size? It's easier to manage smaller countries. Not making excuses for Nigeria, but we have unique challenges here in Nigeria, right? We have a big population. And if you're really being honest, a lot of people that say, these countries are better than Nigeria, they just take a very select part of Nigeria and compare with these countries. You shouldn't even compare Nigeria with some of these countries. Just pick a state or a city.
And that's what I was gonna. That's the question I was gonna, or that's the point I was going. The argument I was gonna make, right? When you say these countries are bigger, now that's why you have things or words like per capita. That's why you have words like average. That's why you have words like average. When you do the per capita of this GDP you even mentioned, right? We might be number 3, but when you do it per capita now, we're not ranking very high, right? You see what I'm saying?
Good.
Yep. Yeah. And even in terms of infrastructure too, when you let's even go to Lagos or Abuja, the big cities that we have, or even Port Harcourt, maybe, I don't know, Abuja or Lagos, pick anyone. And then take that one to South Africa, one city too in South Africa. You see that we don't even match. You see what I'm saying? Or Tunisia or Morocco.
I agree with you. South Africa, yes, there's no questioning that one. I'm just saying when we talk about other countries. And that's why I said, I recognize the fact that, yes, Nigeria is not where it needs to be. And that's why I said nominal GDP, yes. Per capita, that's where we're at a disadvantage because of our population. When you look at, our population, our GDP should be higher. But let's be honest, a lot of things happened, with the whole rebasing of our GDP. We're on fake, so to speak, GDP before with the subsidies and all that. So give Nigeria a couple more years, we'll be where we need to be. We're restructuring. I'm not making excuses, but that's why I said let's be objective when we're doing these things, right? We've been living on borrowed time for a long time. But that aside, that's just to address that. I wanted to specifically on this issue of infrastructure talk about something which is power generation. I was making comments on there, and this is another one of those issues where I think people, I don't want to say misinformed. It's like people really don't address the real issues. First and foremost, government is not responsible for providing power. People may not like it, you may not accept it. And
one second, my brother. Come on now. Why you go talk like that now?
And no, let me clarify what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, they are responsible for ensuring that we have power, but I'm saying providing power. We are in the situation we are today because we've put that responsibility solely on government. Where what we've been doing is subsidizing power. Is that socialist mindset that government has to be? Where in the world has the government ever been able to do anything and it's been profitable? Even the United States, the postal service is losing money every day. Anything government is involved in is never profitable. And you don't have a country, one of the fastest growing countries in the world, by Nigeria. Our infrastructure didn't keep up with population. What did you expect to happen? Right? If you're not investing, if you don't make it profitable, because if you look everywhere in the world, power, you have private companies, it's profitable for them. That's why they're in the business. This is even just generation, right? We still have distribution and all that, which we still have problems with, because today, even if you generate the power needed in Nigeria, there's some areas that still will not get power because of poor distribution. Some areas don't have proper cables, some don't have transformers. That's still a different issue. But the main thing is we cannot even generate what we need, to survive. And how do we do that? You have to have companies generating power. And somebody mentioned, I think he knows what he's talking about, in terms of when you were questioning the amount he was talking about to generate power. This thing is expensive. If we're talking about getting to 100,000 megawatts or wherever we need to be, and that's why somebody said 10 years, they're being realistic. It costs a lot of money. Why will I sink this amount of money if I'm not going to get money back? As an example, in Nigeria today is where we have things where there are people in areas that'll tell you they've never paid for NEPA a day in their life. And what I mean by that is they're connected, they bypass meters and stuff. So a lot of people don't pay for these things. Now, even when they do pay, people are not paying the rate that will be encouraging to investors. I'm not doing this as a social service. If I want to generate power, first and foremost, I want to make money from it. If you look at the rates that we were paying before, even now, today with the band A and stuff, it's just getting to where, okay, now it's somewhat profitable, or it will entice me to want to get in. You can't expect people to come and invest if it's not encouraging. The only reason GSM took off was because they saw potential. Nigeria is a country where anybody that wants to get into power generation, they know that they'll make their money provided the rates are beneficial, right? If it's not lucrative, if government still has to subsidize it, then what's the point? Because at any point in time, the people can go back and say, hey, let's go back to subsidies, and then the government is not able to pay subsidies. But what I'm pretty much trying to say is...
Yeah, if you want to round up with this so we can move forward, Mr. Eitan.
Okay, yeah. So if you don't allow investment, nobody will come in, and it's going to take a long time. That's what I'm getting at. And let's not expect that power is the responsibility of government. We keep saying government. No, there's nowhere in the world where it's the responsibility of... It's private companies.
Fair enough.
And that's what I have to say about that.
Fair enough, Mr. Eitan. All right, Leslie Prez, let's hear your thoughts on the topic.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. I don't think Nigeria should be regarded as the giant of Africa, to be honest. In all honesty, I think, and I say this as a Nigerian American, Nigerians are very, very loud about themselves, which is fine, but they're loud, and personally, we can't really back it up. I say this as a Nigerian who was raised in New York, and I'm actually married to a South African, right? And I've gone to South Africa a couple of times just to meet my parent-in-laws. And I've been to Lagos, and when I fly into Lagos, I'm like, surely this cannot be the Lagos that everyone's fighting over. And I say this as someone who's pretty privileged. Personally, I was raised in the best city in the world, to my opinion. And when I fly into Cape Town,
you know the crazy part, right? Sorry for cutting you there, boy. The crazy part is Nigerians always want to compare Lagos to New York. Like they want to say, oh, just like New York.
I personally I don't understand it, right? And I was raised in New York.
Oh my God.
So when I fly into Lagos, first of all, the infrastructure, let's even start there, horrible. Like when my wife was pretty excited to fly into Nigeria, to Lagos, and when we flew in, there was no light, it was dark. So that was a good introduction to my wife about what Nigeria is like.
Yep.
Infrastructure wise, horrible. I mean, it's extremely disappointing when you see how Nigeria, with the resources that they're blessed with, of where they put their money into. And surely it seems that they put a lot of money into politics, but not governance.
Yeah.
When you look into the infrastructure, like it's reflective of what is important. I see everyone talking about electricity. I see everyone talking about light. I mean, Nigeria, for what it was going through during like the 60s and 70s, like it was an oil boom. Where did all that money go? Surely you guys should have invested that in infrastructure. So I think Nigeria is lagging behind. When I fly into Nigeria, when I fly into South Africa, there's a clear difference,
Absolutely.
into what what they invest into.
Yeah.
Right. Personally, as a Nigerian, I do get embarrassed every time I fly into different countries. Right. I've been to Addis Ababa, beautiful city. I've been to Kigali, beautiful city. Even Nairobi, beautiful city. Right. And there's a sense of shame that I have when I fly into these countries because Nigeria, as they regard themselves as a giant of Africa, when I fly in, is not gianting at all.
Fair
Right.
enough.
People talk about GDP, right, as if it's this great, amazing thing. And I say this as someone who I work in Wall Street. GDP don't mean shit, and please mind my language, when the purchasing parity of the people is not being reflective towards that, right? A lot of people have a lot of things to sort of show off about the GDP, but how are the people living? Why is it that every time I fly into Lagos, they hear my accent and they're begging for dollars? Why is that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
For a country that sort of brags about having GDP, surely soldiers, in the airport shouldn't be begging me for money, right? So my thing is lagging behind innovation. Someone spoke about tech some time ago, right? Do you see? I don't think people are very aware about what the tech heads in Cape Town are doing right now. They're doing amazing stuff, and they're regarded as the Silicon Valley of Africa. To my opinion, they're doing amazing things in Cape Town. It's just that personally, they're not loud about it. And just we as Nigerians are just very loud. And it can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing
You
when you
need to
can't even
back it
back it
up,
up.
though. You need to back it up.
Yeah. So it can be a good thing, right? In terms of self-confidence, right? It's great. But if you can't back it up, you just kind of look like an idiot, to be honest.
Yeah.
And don't
Sadly.
even get me started with weak governance. Like, I think personally for me, Nigerians have this sort of what's the word? Love for politics, politicking, I would say, right? Like the shady business behind politics. But when it comes to governance, it seems like they don't have that same sort of passion, right?
Yep.
Personally, for me, like I don't. Do I care about who's president? Personally, for me, like, do I agree with some of Tinubu's policies economically? Yes, right. Is there some I don't agree with? Absolutely, I don't agree with it. Do I think he's doing a good job? No, but economically, some of his decisions has been great, right? But Nigerians love the politicking, the tribalism behind politicking. They love the shady business of politicking, right? But when it comes to governance, when it comes to holding your people, your politicians accountable, they're nowhere to be found,
Yep.
right?
Sadly.
When you see when I was walking through Addis Ababa, you can see what they're investing in, right? When I was in Kigali with my wife, you can see what they're investing in, right? When you go to Cape Town, when you go to Durban, because my wife is from Durban, you can see what they are investing in. When I was in Lagos, I'm like, bro, like this cannot be the city people are shouting about. Like I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it, right? So again, like, hey, listen, me, I'm Nigerian. I will always rep my country,
Absolutely.
right? But yo,
But if you want to round up,
the
Mr. Les Depress, so we can move forward, yeah.
but giant of Africa, bro, like, please just stop it. Give that title to either Rwanda or South Africa, who's actually doing a lot in their country.
Absolutely. Or our
We have
brothers
a
in the
lot.
north, like Algeria, Morocco,
Yeah,
Tunisia, those guys, Egypt.
yeah. Morocco has the biggest manufacturing. They're the biggest car manufacturer right now. Morocco, right?
Yep.
Egypt is the highest in manufacturing. Nigeria is the second, right? I do think Nigeria has a lot of potential, right?
We
But
do.
if Nigerians continue to sort of be, what's the word, accustomed to this sort of life, to this sort of like love for politics, for this sort of you believe that you that this sort of infrastructure is normal, that this sort of begging is normal, is going to continue.
It will.
It's going to continue, right? So Nigeria has a lot of potential, but Giant of Africa, please scrap that.
Absolutely.
Like, I think personally as Nigerians, we should stop calling ourselves that.
Absolutely.
So I end it there.
Thank you, Leslie Perez, for that one. Appreciate you. And, you know, Nigeria, I think one of our problems, too, is also the lack of the excellent spirit. We don't care about being excellent. Like, you see the infrastructures they build, they're not excellent. You know, Abuja was a missed opportunity. Yeah? We can say, okay, Lagos was, you know, they built, or they put the thought of Lagos during colonialism and all that good stuff. So, you know, maybe some mistakes happened along the way, right? But Abuja is the newest city, at least the newest big city that we created. But still, it's not an excellent city. You know, you still go there and things are just not perfect. Everything is just done haphazardly. You know, Wike will come doing your own, this one will come doing your own. Nobody's prioritizing excellence. Let's do this thing and make it excellent. Let it look good. You know, let it be impressive. Let these runways, let this airport be standard. Let these schools be standard. Let these streets, let this city be, you know, basic things like fire service, water, like, you know, pipe-borne water. Pipe-borne water, no, they Abuja still. And that's the newest city that they just built. But the person that was building the city did not think, okay, let's run some pipes in the ground so that water and sewage and all those things go to run for ground. That person didn't think about it. You know, I don't know, man. But anyway, just give me 1 second. I need to go get some water. I ran out of water. I go play some music here. And Mr. Sandy Locks, you're gonna be next. But 1 second, I want to be involved in the conversation. So I don't want to just run away and let you keep talking in the background. But let's listen to some music while I come back with the water. I'll be right back. Just give me 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Chamaka, go and turn on the TV for Chimobin and the grace room. Abanyana TV. Yeah, but shows them.
All right, I'm back.
Yes. Chamaka, but shows them,
All right, St. Locks, just give me 1 second, make I address the chat here.
But shows them.
Yeah, if you want to mute yourself there, Mr. St.
Oh,
Locks.
sorry for that.
Yeah.
No.
Just give us 1 second here. Let me address the chat here. All right. Jide says, how many days did you spend in Lagos, Americana? you see, they don't cost you already. These are our Nigerian people. Voila.
Hey, listen.
Voila.
Hey,
no, let's press. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Mr.
No. I do want to say this.
All right.
So I was sent back. I was acting a fool in the U.S. So my parents did send me back for secondary school. I went to Grange in Lagos. So please don't check me like that. Come on now. You know better than that.
All right. Thank you, Leslie Press. But let's get back to the chat. All right, Jai, you don't hear him now. Mark, thank you for being here. He says GDP has increased. But, you know, per capita is also, that's why the people who create GDP, they also create something called per capita. You have averages for a reason, right? Anyway, Coffee Active, thank you for being here. Wills, thank you for being here. Speakers mentioned the name of city you visited in South Africa. I think he mentioned Durban. So check that one out.
Durban and Cape Town and Joburg, 3 of them.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Leslie Perez. Wheels, thank you for being here. Let's see the people who are still here. And we're almost at 10K. So let's keep liking and get to 10K. We're at 8,000 likes right now on TikTok. Let's keep liking and get to 10K likes. And Facebook people, Max and Jaka Obina. I don't know where you went to while in Nigeria because there are a lot of development going on in Nigeria. You guys should not totally wash us under the water. But again, Giant of Africa has to do with our population. Come on now, population. What do you use population do? When the population, they tell you say you did 200 million, 170 million, hunger won't finish there.
Population doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, Mr. Leslie Press, please stop unmuting yourself. You're interrupting the show. But thank you for chiming in there. But please, you're interrupting the show. But Mr. Max and Jacka from Facebook. What is this population do? We're hungry. They wire 170 million of the population. What it is that do, my brother? That's not something to be proud of. You need to build infrastructures. You need to grow your HDI. All that good stuff, man. But thank you for being here, Mr. Max and Jacka. And YouTube people, Boss Heiner says from Nigeria, I'm telling you, you're right, politics. Absolutely. Let's get back to this. St. Locks, make we hear your thoughts on the topic.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry for the interruption.
No problem. No
I was
problem. Go
talking to
ahead.
my daughter to close my door. I
No
don't want
problem.
no noise. Yeah, I really support on what Les Praise said. I didn't grow up here in the United States, but I stay in the United States here in Texas. And another thing is that I grew up back home. I attended school. There are some certain things he was saying, and it put a reflection on my mind. Number one thing, I did my architectural engineering back home in Nigeria. So, for instance, it's not even for instance, this is actually what happened. During the time that we will present our works and before jury time, and all the professors and lecturers will come out to interview you with your work, your model, all the things you've done, drawing, all those. They will bombard you with a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of force that have that mindset of building things ahead of the future, that have aesthetic and things that I've started seeing right now in the architectural sector in Nigeria. Those professors during that time, it was when I was in Nigeria that time, it was around 2000, early 2000s. So those professors would say, "Oh no, we don't need this. We don't need this kind of thing. This kind of thing. This is not America. This is not this. This is not. This is Nigeria. We have to do this. We got to remove this design." Like the kind of critics, they were pulling our mindset back in the infrastructural designs and things. They didn't really weigh a lot of part of us down. And also likewise with the engineering sector too, because my roommate is electrical engineering too, and when I go to their department to check out the things that they are doing, and I see the similar thing happening to them too. Now, takes us back. Let's move forward. Now, coming now down to the present day, those things really put the development backwards. It's not as if that people around in the country are not the new young ones are not doing much, or they are not, but the older ones are pulling. They are not open. It's like one of the lecturers always say, you are rigidly regimented instantly, like in your instinct. You don't use abstract design. So there are some certain things that he puts people onto, and without knowing, when he said that to the students, he himself, that's what he is, because he doesn't absorb the new architectural designs and the road infrastructural system that we are seeing from other sources like United States or London or whatever place that is changing things. Even the solar system, then there wasn't no solar system. We put solar system in our designs, but they would struck it down. So to tell you now, let's think about it now. Right now, I'm in the States. I left in Nigeria during 20, 2008. Yes, during that time, you see, people can carry laptops any kind of way, go and do software engineering, learn how to code, how to do this, how to do that. But I heard now back there in Nigeria, you can't do that. You can't just carry laptop any kind of way. Police would arrest you and say you are a Yahoo boy, you are this, and you are that. You have to know how to carry laptop. You don't need to do that. There are a lot of things that they use to subdue the infrastructural and the intellectual
True.
conduct to the
True.
to the society. An ordinary person doing because I did also forest trading. I did forest trading. I did stock market during when I graduated from the high institution.
Yeah,
I will not
Mr. Saint
compare.
Locks, I understand where you're going with the conversation, right? But I want us to bring it back to the topic. Nigeria being.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
understand you're
Yeah, I'm
saying
just referring it.
Yeah, I understand
I'm
you.
just referring it.
I understand you're trying to relate it to like the leadership is suppressing the ideas, so that's limiting us.
Yes,
But let's kind of bring it back to the actual topic. If you
to
want to
the
hit it to the
reality.
topic, so that we can move forward. Yeah,
Okay, okay. Now, the poor infrastructure. That is where we have the poor. Nigeria have the poor infrastructure because the things that they have been putting people into is making them to like now think about it. Now, this is exactly what is really going on. Saying they are against electronic voting. You see, so you see what we all know what happened during the electronic, what is going on with the electronic. They don't want to adopt that. So now, a giant of Africa, Nigeria don't need to answer that. We need to take away that title and give it to another country. Now
absolutely.
another thing
If you want
is
to round up,
um
Mr. Sent.
now another thing is somebody calling saying, hey, you comparing New York with Lagos, then that comparison is not even need to be put into. Now, are we lagging behind in innovation? Yes, we are lagging behind in innovation. We need to put more effort in our innovation and not
Absolutely,
one-sided,
absolutely,
not one-sided at all. Now, in the weak governments, we are working towards governments, and also this one-sided weak government is the reason why we are all having um, a sided infrastructure,
yeah.
like
Mr. Saint
concentrated
Locks, if
in.
you want to round up with this, so that we can move forward.
Okay, in a nutshell,
Yep,
Nigeria need to go back to the drawing ground and fix their things
absolutely.
and not to compare with other developed areas. And for us to do that, the people need to hold their government accountable.
Absolutely.
Simple.
Absolutely.
And one more thing. Even if they can do some kind of thing in a software whereby design a software whereby we will have to be monitoring every expenditure the government is spending and whatever movement they are doing, whatever money they are putting out, or everything, the youth and the young people need to be knowing that. Thank you.
Fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Senlox. And Oga Oye, let's hear your thoughts on this topic.
Kachi, good evening.
I greet you, my brother. Thank you for joining back.
I've heard a whole lot of things. But first of all, for clarification, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. And that title is not going away for a very, very, very long time. So, what makes us the giant of Africa now? I know some of you, or most people, would think, oh, there should be cities with clean road, there should be cities with this, with that. The only thing that makes him a giant is influence. So, what makes the father of the house is influence. You can be the son and be richer than your father. You have a bigger house, but your father has more influence over you. And that is the simple thing that makes us the giant of Africa. We hold the largest influence in Africa. First of all, we control the market. We control the African market. We are the largest economy. We have the largest buying power. So I see when they say talk about GDP, you think, oh, the GDP is this, the people does not have the PPP. It's a lie. So, for example, MTN is not a Nigerian owned company, but somehow Nigeria controls 36% of what MTN generates in a year as of 2024-2025 was generated in Nigeria. Now, MTN is across Africa, right? But Nigeria contributes to 36%. Now, you need to divide that by the rest of the African countries. That's what they call influence, meaning any company we throw out from Africa knows that there's a problem. And if so, every company wants to be in Africa. So somebody talked about we are not innovative. That is another lie. Aside from entertainment, in tech, Kachi, you can take your laptop and just fact check this. The largest startup in Africa is in Nigeria. Aside from the fact that we control the tech space, the largest startup, and that has been, this is like 4 years consecutive.
I don't agree that we control the tech space. Yes, we might have these grassroots tech hubs here and there, but when you talk about system stuff, we don't control that. In terms of grassroots, yeah, we do.
There's difference between infrastructure and the things that makes your life actually simple. For example, the largest banking system, mobile banking system, aside from the one that China brought to us, Paystack, is from Nigeria. It's not just Paystack. There are about 3 of them. They are all from Nigeria, and they control the whole of Africa. So you need to, now if you want to go to automobile, Nigeria is also one of the few countries in Africa that has more than 3 or 4 African-owned automobiles. Not just maybe Mercedes come down and become plain. No, it's owned by an African. Nigeria has 3 or 4 people. So when you look at these things, it sends a message. The one that Uganda owns is a state-owned, state-sponsored. This is not state-sponsored in Nigeria. These are individuals. That tells you our level of intellectuality. And our government, now, you see, when things are, somebody made a statement, he said, oh, they use Nigeria to hold Africa back. So if you are not the giant, how are they now using us to hold African back? It says a whole lot of things. Now, if you want to talk about military, since 1960, who has been controlling this space when it comes to security is now that we have so much to deal with at home, and you see how everywhere is collapsing around us because we have so much to do at home. We have so much insecurity to fight at home, so we cannot send soldiers out, we cannot intervene in many things. And that's why you are hearing military coup, you are hearing a whole lot of things left and right.
But let's the military now you're talking about, right? Which is a good metric, by the way. I've been to hear that thing, oh, now we get the best ground military for Africa, since I small. Some people still argue that till this day, which I think is just a joke, right? Because we cannot.
Not a joke. We actually earned that title. We earned that title in the Second World War.
Fair enough. However, in recent times, if we cannot fix these insecurity issues that we have in our country, how is that not a joke?
Because insecurity at home is different from war. Insecurity at home is not a war. You see, military are built for war. For example, it's the same way United States have the best warfare in the whole world, but they cannot stop the insecurity in Chicago. You know why? Because insecurity at home is not a war. It's more of ideological, and you cannot fight it with just carrying of weapon, with just shooting, with just sending military out there. You can't fight it. There's so many things you have to fight for you to get to it.
The difference between the I don't know you can call it insecurity or whatever you want to call it, right? That's going on in Chicago, right? That is gang violence, now gang stuff, and the gang, they are not like one group. That's why they're called a gang, right? Now different gangs just they do what they do, right? It's not the same in Nigeria, where we have literal terrorists. This was the domestic terrorists we get, right? We have Boko Haram. In the east, we have IPOB, ES, and all that bullshit, right? You know these people. You know their leaders. One second, Mr. Oye, right? In the east, I think if not yesterday or 2 days ago, one of the current leaders of the ESN, we know them a terrorist group, right? He was on live, doing a live video. And the Nigerian government, for some reason, cannot track that live video, figure out where he is, and go get him. So it's different. No, it's in my opinion, it's different.
Because they can't track it down. Mr. Kachi, it's not because they can't track him down. It's because tracking him down, you need to understand the ideology behind it. For example, the governor of one of these southeastern states woke up and is like, you must come to the market, and the people no go the market. So are you saying he should forcefully lock their stores?
They
He
went.
can't.
They went to the market though.
No, some people protested. Many women protested.
The market is open now.
Yeah, the market is open, but many women protested, and that is after many years that these things have been going on. So when it's at home, the fight is totally different. It has to be strategic. You need to bring people on board. You need to negotiate. When it's war, it's totally different, because when it's war, you just want to unalive. You are not thinking of how these are your people. Either you like it or not. Boko Haram, it does not. When you hear, oh, they are in Sambisa forest. Sambisa is not a forest. It's actually a place where people live. It's a city. There's a city literally inside Sambisa. So when people hear of Sambisa forest, because of the way we call it, they think, oh, it's just a desert, open desert, and military can just go there. People are living there. They are farmers. There are people that are fisher. There are fishermen, fisherwomen there, living their life normally. So you cannot just go there and you start unaliving people. It doesn't work like that. So that is why the insecurity at home is way more difficult to fight. Now, when you talk of infrastructure, and you see, the other time I told you something, I said sometimes we need to give Nigeria some dosa, because Nigeria is the only black country that has developed by itself. Nigeria is the only black nation that has developed. You see this progress we've had. We've had to do it by ourselves without external factor. It's more of external factors trying to pull us down. So you see, that alone is enough to give us dosa.
How about Ghana?
Ghana is nowhere to be compared to Nigeria. And Ghana
has amenities that are they provide basic, government provides basic amenities for Ghanaians.
Basic amenities to keep them afloat. We do not deal with mediocrity.
My bro, come on now. You can't call basic amenities mediocrity though. That one no they fair. I think majority of Nigerians go like electricity, right? Majority of Nigerians go like electricity. I think so. That one no mediocrity now.
Majority of Nigerians. You see, this electricity is the only thing we hold on to. But Nigeria is the only country in the whole of Africa that has free train shuttle, free metro shuttle from airport to the city in Abuja. It's free. It runs every 1 hour. Nigeria is the only country in Africa, the whole of Africa. So in as much as you want to focus on the negative part that the cities, there's no. Now, cost of living, when you compare the growth we've made with our cost of living, the affordability at home, you realize that you ask yourself, how have we been able to achieve this type of things? For example, our train, our road, our transportation system, even our electricity. You see that small electricity where Ghana gets, the ridiculous amount they pay is what is keeping them in poverty.
I don't know that Ghana, on average, I don't know that the poverty level of Ghana, I don't know that it's more than or higher than that of Nigeria. Nigeria is like the highest in terms of poverty in the world. How are you going to be saying Ghana is in poverty?
No, it's not in the world.
In the world, Nigeria carry first for poverty.
No, we do not carry first.
If we don't carry first, we carry second. Now Ghana is not number one.
We never they want to 20. Go check.
Ghana is not 1 to 20 either. Ghana is faring better than Nigeria. That's the point I'm trying to make. Wherever you want to put us.
Ghana. No, I just have to banter Ghana.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
You brought them into the conversation. I just have to banter them.
Okay,
I'm just telling you that when you look at it, the progress we've made.
Yep.
Is not comparable to other African countries. And yes, when you look at these things, it's what makes us the giant of Africa. We own the market, we control the market, and whoever owns the key to the house is the master of the house. Yes, we own the market, we control the market, we own the largest influence. When it comes to governance, we control it. At home, we might be struggling, but we are not discussing just about at home. Now, you can say a whole lot of things. Oh, we do not have this, we do not have that. Fair enough, I'm not making that argument. But because your papa no get money to buy food, does not stop him being your father. No, he's still your father. So yes, to my brothers that are angry that Nigerians still are arrogant about it, until your country starts controlling the market in Africa, until your country now owns the key or influences Africa the way Nigeria does, we cannot change that title. Till then, we remain the giant of Africa. Thank you, Mr. Kachi. We still
Thank
I
you,
drop my
Ogawe.
mic for
Appreciate
now.
it. Appreciate it. That one an interesting take. Absolutely. This one is definitely an interesting take. But thank you, Mr. Oye. Thank you for joining. Anyway, Mastermind, you're gonna be next, but give me 1 second. Make I address the chat and the Facebook and the YouTube people. Thank you guys for being here. And YouTube, Facebook, if you would like to join the conversation, please feel free to follow me on TikTok at the Be Parlour podcast and request, and that's the only way you can join the conversation. But I can't bring you up on YouTube or Facebook, but feel free to follow me on TikTok so we can bring you on the conversation and we all can chat. Anyway, we're at 8,000 likes right now. Let's get it to 10K, and then the next goal here will be 20K, and then we keep going. Hopefully, we can get more people to join the conversation. But thank you, Mr. Oe. All right, let's see who we have here. We have Orika Igwe, Stella Wumi. Thank you for joining. Eric, Big Dad, Olade Hinde. Thank you for being here. The Truth Voice. Thank you for being here. Sharo, what? This thing no one stay one place. Sharo Diamond, thank you for being here. Angelo, thank you for being here. Blackie, thank you for being here. Watts Resource, thank you for being here. Bola Bolton, thank you for being here. Opoyos, thank you for being here. Uncle Sumbu, thank you for being here. Chills, thank you for being here. Mr. Ojo and Denny Osajie, thank you guys for being
Somebody
here.
snoring.
Loska, I don't know why you joined. Just begin the mono. Anyway, let me mute you in a moment. But we know all morning sound here, but I appreciate you guys being here. All right. YouTube people, Facebook people, again, if you'd like to join the conversation, please feel free to follow me on TikTok at the Be Parlour podcast, and that's the only way we can bring you up. And feel free to request. All right, we're at 8,000 likes. Let's keep liking and get more people to join the conversation. All right, Mr. Mastermind, let's hear your thoughts on the topic.
Yeah, thank you, brother, for giving me this chance to speak. And well, as a Ghanaian here,
okay.
I'm not gonna talk much because I've lived about 20 years of my life.
Ghanaian. Okay, sorry. I know say you be Ghanaian. Ghana man. I'm sorry. I always forget you, my brother. I forget say you be Ghana man. But this one a Nigerian topic. We want the banter ourselves. We don't want Ghana person to come the cause us.
I'm not bantering.
I understand that. But we want to keep it. I understand that.
20 years in Nigeria.
Appreciate you living in Nigeria and loving Nigeria, but we'll keep it to Nigerians, having the conversation. I appreciate it, Mr. Mastermind. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. But I go mute you for now, but thank you. All right. Loska, hopefully you're here. Otherwise, we'll circle back to the people on the guests and see if they have more thoughts on the topic. All right, Loska, let's hear your thoughts on the topic. Loska, are you here? All right, I don't think Loska is here.
I think he's asleep. He slept already.
Yeah, don't drop him. All right, let me see Oyeka N64. Let's see if you can join us here and give us your thoughts on the topic. And let's keep liking. We're 8,900 likes on TikTok, Facebook. Also, let's keep liking and sharing and get more people here to join the conversation. All right, Oyeka, let's hear your thoughts on the topic. Thank you for joining.
Oh, hello. Can you listen to me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, you can. That's good. Well, the only thing I want to tell you is that I don't know, is it appropriate for me to tell you a little bit about my background so that you can know?
Are you Nigerian?
I'm in Los Angeles now, California.
No, are you Nigerian? We don't necessarily need your location. Are you Nigerian?
I'm a Nigerian.
All right. The background you want to tell us, that's all we need. We don't need your background per se. We just want to hear your thoughts on the topic.
Okay. My thought is that the structure of Nigerian economy before before now, I've always believed it is not the best. It is like a father pampering his children. That, okay, you must have good things of life. You must be able to do this. You must be able to do that. Meanwhile, whether you work or you don't work, because your father is rich, you still get something. But as time goes on, the children become big. The father is now having big family. And now the resources is not going to go around. So some of the children, their level of enjoyment is being reduced now. And that is just an analogy to Nigeria. If you look at Nigeria in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, left seem to be abandoned because the population is not much. But now the population is now much. The things seem to be not going well. So that pampering is not possible. I'll give you an example. Before the present regime, if you look at few countries, of course, of our type of population that is subsidizing fuel, we are one of the few ones. People will just tell you, okay, but Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, they are also subsidizing fuel, which is true. But when Saudi Arabia has about 13 million population, Libya probably 6 million, you cannot compare it to 250 million. So now, if you are subsidizing something for 6 million people, now compare it to somebody now subsidizing it for 150 million people or 180 million people. So we cannot be doing it. So, but because of that, when you subsidize fuel and you support your exchange rate, you are doing essentially the same thing because it is your money you are spending. It's like if you have 5 children in your house, you now say, okay, I'm going to give you, all of you, money, social amounts. The school you are supposed to take 10 naira to school. But apart from that 10 naira, I'm going to give you extra 30 naira. It is your money. You cannot decide to take the money away from them. I'm not giving you 30 naira again, subsidy. But I'm going to use this 30 naira to buy another house or to buy cars or to do something so that you can use it in future. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy that for now we have removed the support of the naira, which gives a lot of money to the government, and we have removed the subsidy. If you can do those two things, you will have more money to spend in another area. And that is the more money, and you see that more money is not in only one man's hand. It's not the federal government that is having more money now. All the 37 state governors, that is 36 government state and Abuja, they have more money. All the 774 local government chairmen, they have more money.
All right, so, Mr. Oyekan, let's bring it back. I'm still struggling to get the thoughts, like your thought process, bringing it back to the topic. But let's keep it to Nigeria being giant of Africa. I think I was getting you when you were talking about being rich, kids in the house, but you're still deviating further, which is throwing me off. But let's bring it back.
What I'm saying is that, we need to really invest more in infrastructure, especially electricity. That is just it. But we have good framework.
Okay.
We have good framework, but we need more. Then we have a very weak governance. I have to be to be honest with you. We don't have governance at all. I'll give you one small example.
Okay.
If I go to Onitsha now and I slap you and I have money, and you go to police station, the police will tell you, go and bring the man. Go and bring the man, or give us money to go and arrest the man. Those are weak governance.
Okay.
If you are in New York and you call the cops and say, oh, somebody's trying to attack me, they will come in 15 minutes. So we have weak governance. And unfortunately for us, the police and the court, they are the owner of the government, of the country.
Yep.
Your police and your court are if you go to Nigerian court, if you don't have money, you just suffer. Because of this issue of bribery. Bribery gives us a lot of problem.
Yeah, fair enough. If you want to just round up so that we can move forward, Mr. Oyekan.
I've round up. That is just it. It's
All
a
right.
fact. But then we are on good steps.
All right, fair enough.
The removal of petroleum subsidy, the flotation of naira, it will give us a lot of stress now, but it will allow us to have money for infrastructure, which we are
Fair
doing
enough.
now.
Fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Onyeka. Thank you for that submission or your opinion, your thoughts. Appreciate it. All right, CEO Coded. Let's hear your thoughts on the. You already gave us your thoughts, but we're circling back because there are no new callers or guests here. So let's hear if you have any pushback or rebuttals. Make we hear.
Yeah, I'm just going to lap in on what Way said about influence. And I think that was what I was trying to build before because, I mean, regardless of all these indexes that you've put up here,
Yep.
I mean, Nigeria exhibits a lot of influence in Africa. I was trying to talk about the fintech space the other time, that Nigeria still has the best fintech sector in Africa. And it's rated globally as ranked first globally for unicorn valuation. So you can check that up. So we may not we may not be giant in all these indexes that you put up, but in other areas of sphere of influence, I think Nigeria still remains the giant of Africa. The other person was talking about the military the other time, and that's actually very true because Nigerian Navy is ranked first in Africa, I think 22nd in the world. And then the military is ranked, I think, second in Africa, and the Air Force is also ranked second in Africa. So, and when you talk about a country being a giant in any sphere, you first must talk about security, and security covers food security, energy security, and then physical security. So at least we check one of the boxes, that's physical security. And then when talking about the bandits and everything that the other guy talked about, look, UK fought IRA for 30 years. They had their own problems. So Nigeria, I think we've done about 25 years. But hopefully also we're building enough capacity to be able to deal with the problem. It's sad that
I don't necessarily think so because we keep negotiating with these terrorists, and I don't know if the UK at some point within that 30-year span they were negotiating with their whatever they were dealing with.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, at some point they negotiated with IRA. Now you've forgotten the days of Margaret Thatcher. I mean, there was some sort of negotiation, but then also the negotiation that is happening in Nigeria is kind of isolated in the sense that it is not the federal government that is negotiating, but the communities are the ones negotiating because they've realized that there's no support from the military, there's no support from the federal government, so they by themselves collaborate with the local authority to say, okay, invite these people, let's negotiate with them. So I think that's what is happening. And it's unfortunate because over the years and until recently, until maybe about the last 3 or 4 years, our military were not mobile. The equipment they had been derelict over the years. So it is just now that we're rebuilding the military infrastructure. Now we're
Is it my fault or your fault that our military was docile? You know, not my fault or your fault?
It was the fault of prior administration.
Well, regardless of whether you say that this administration or that administration, government is a continuum. The Nigerian government is a continuum.
That's what I said. I'm not blaming anybody in particular.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, development in Nigeria was frozen for like about maybe 40, 50 years. Maybe it's just now that we're just waking up to some sort of reality. And also, if you don't manufacture your own equipment yourself, when you buy this equipment, even when you pay your money to buy them, they will still give you conditions as in where you have to use it. So those are the issues. Until Nigeria get to that level where we begin to at least either manufacture or move away from the West where the purchase of equipment comes with a lot of very long list of conditions, we may not be able to fully attain that capability because our military actually needs capability. And that's what's been lacking over the years. Hopefully now we can tool them up to where we need them to be so that they can effectively deal with this situation. Because look, aspiring to be giant, we need to first secure ourselves. But if our people keep buying every day, I mean, that's the most important thing because you need people to grow the economy.
Yep.
And if the people that need to grow, they have to be productive enough. Some of these people can't even go to their farms. And every corn, every maize, every cassava that is being planted and harvested contributes to the GDP of Nigeria. But they can't go to the farm. If you are tacked up in IDP camps, then that is a problem. That's a challenge for us. So I hope and I pray that we overcome this. But I mean, regardless of everything else, if you look at all these indices that I have mentioned, I think we still exercise or exhibit some sphere of influence in Africa. And I mean, if we abdicate the throne or we take away the title, who's going to wear the cap in Africa? Who has more influence than Nigeria in Africa? We've got the largest market. We've got practically everything. And then talking about this, look, I don't know if you've traveled around Africa. I've been to a couple of countries in Africa. I just came back I was in Morocco for the Nations Cup. The banking sector in Morocco is a mess.
Mm.
And I knew that because I was there. I mean, everything is still practically cash. It's still practically cash. Even Google Map was sometimes difficult for me to navigate, which are some of the things that we enjoy without even thinking about it in Nigeria. You transfer money and instantly the other person receives it. But it's not like that in most, even in some Western countries, it's not like that. So at least
But it doesn't make it perfect. It doesn't mean that ours is better than theirs. It's just what practicability, Abby. It's just what the people in that region, that's what they prefer. It doesn't make ours more superior. You see what I'm saying?
No,
because our own goes instantly doesn't mean that it's the best. It's just what we prefer.
No, it's not what we prefer. There's a certain global standard for electronic transfer of funds. Okay, there's also a certain minimum standard for a cashless economy. Nigeria has been running a cashless economy now and is the top in Africa for the last maybe 5 years or thereabout. So I mean, we should at least give ourselves some pat on the back for those ones.
Fair enough.
So thank you.
Yeah. Fair enough, CEO. All right, make we hear we're cycling back to the guests because we don't have any new guests here. But Mr. Etan Lag, let's hear if you have any pushbacks or rebuttals. Make we hear.
Yeah, I definitely have some pushbacks. I'll go straight to it. The first is as far as the insurgency, and I see that people use it unfairly. Now, I'm not saying the Nigerian military is where it needs to be. I'm not saying that they're the best, but we treat this topic unfairly. We're talking about an ideology here. I mean, if it was as easy to eliminate these type of things, we would not have. I don't know if we're allowed to say those words on TikTok. People that messed things up. I don't want to say those words. So we won't have it in all these countries like Afghanistan and all these other places, right? So, when people say because the Nigerian military is not able to tackle insecurity and not able to take care of Boko Haram and all these guys, I think it's unfair. Now, can they do better? Yes. Should it be better? Yes. Should this thing be reduced to the barest minimum? Absolutely. But to say that, yes, the Nigerian military is not this and that because they've not been able to do it, is completely wrong. And I know somebody mentioned that, we're living on past glory. It's not past glory. If you people really look into history and look at what the Nigerian military is capable of and what they're currently doing, because some people said, oh, okay, the president is not tackling insecurity. He sent this thing to Niger Republic and all that. Military warfare is easier than fighting with your citizens. There are certain cases where, with intelligence reports, you find out that these guys are in certain areas. You can't just go and drop a BOMB there because casualties, innocent bystanders, and all those things will be involved. But when it comes to normal warfare, that goes anybody. That's a lot easier. I refuse. Again, I'm a patriotic Nigerian, and maybe that's partly affecting my assessment. But I refuse to believe that Nigeria's military is not what people are saying. I strongly believe, and I know based on antecedents and what the Nigerian military is capable of, that anybody, if it were to happen today, any country in Africa, forget Nigeria is that. Aside from that, this issue of giant of Africa, I'll also talk about that too. You can't say that a country that has this strong consuming population with this strong purchasing power.
We don't have a strong purchasing power, my brother.
We do. Look, see here, and I'll tell you where I'm going.
Okay.
Now, say per capita. I don't know.
Nadia, I've been one go.
Per capita.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere. I know, and it's good. That you're pushing back. So I'll explain, right?
Yeah.
Say per capita in terms of the average Nigerians, yes. But if you look at our population and the number of people that are able to do things, people are mentioning Kigali, and I've been there several times. Go and look at people dominating it, spending money there. It's still the same Nigerians. If you remove foreign, like Europeans and all that, it's Nigerians. Morocco, Marrakesh, all these places, is Nigerians boosting the economies. If we withdraw all that, they will feel the impact. That's what you call influence. That's what we don't accept it because we've been built to kind of look down on ourselves. All this, everybody just travels out, and then you travel out because you're living abroad. The next thing, Nigeria doesn't have water, Nigeria doesn't have power, electricity, and all these things. We tend to ignore a lot of things that we have because, I guess, which is a good thing because maybe we've taken it for granted and we think we should be better. But, if you look at what we do in all these countries. And look at our banks too, even with the branches they have, the transactions we make. I think it's very unfair to say and think that, we don't wield this influence in Africa. I guarantee you, if you pull any of these things, all these countries will suffer. And they know it. The government know it. The populace might not know it. It's like, when I was saying, okay, then Nigeria decided to pull MTN and DSTV off. They won't allow it because they will suffer. It will be big for South Africa if we did do that. Yes, there are South African countries, but technically, it's essentially a Nigerian thing because we get them the biggest revenue. DSTV is losing everywhere. It's just the Nigerian market that is keeping them where they need to be. Same thing with the companies. And look at what our banks are doing. And to the person that said he went to Kigali, I'm sure you saw Access Bank and all these things. We're everywhere. We're just saying, go to every country in Africa. Nigerians are there because of our influence. And then I mentioned also music. We think it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. In the music industry, what Nigerians are doing, the revenue that accrues to it, fashion and all these things. But we tend to just ignore it and think it's not a big deal because we don't have light. And, that means Nigeria is not the giant of Africa. It's a problem we have, yes, and we'll deal with it. And the reason we've had that problem is because of subsidies and this feeling that, we need socialism to save us, to bail us out.
And it's not just light, my brother. Light is just a part of electricity is just a part of infrastructure. It's not just light.
Yes.
It's not just because we don't have light. The electricity can fall under infrastructure. Our infrastructure in Nigeria is not the best.
I have to make my argument sweet now. There's other things.
Fair enough.
I have to make my argument sweet. There's light, there's other things. There's light that anybody. If Ghana were to talk about us today, is darkness, king of darkness. That's the biggest one that they will talk about. But really, yes, we should have light. But the only thing is, hopefully, and I pray, and I know that we'll get it right eventually. The day we have 24 power in Nigeria, the world will be in trouble because that's the bane of manufacturing. And our GDP will be double digits easily. And we're going to get there, and we're doing things. So, for people to think that, always saying, personally, I think it's unfair, For what we have and what we've been through with the military, dare I say, we're doing, again, it's not good to just be patting yourself on the back, right? But dare I say, we've done a good job, in my opinion, based on where we've come from, the tribal issues we have, numerous tribes, the population, and the hands we've been dealt. I think we've done a pretty good job. And we keep forgetting that Nigeria is not really all that old. When you look at military regime to democracy, just from 1999, again, you don't want to set the bar so low, but we're doing what needs to be done. But as far as influence, I don't think this one is up for debate at all. Nigeria is, this is my opinion, and I'm saying what backs it up. We're the giant of Africa simply because we yield this influence over all the countries in Africa. Now, people can choose to say otherwise because we don't have all this infrastructure. That's fine, but I still believe that Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
Fair enough, Mr. Lag. Fair enough, and thank you for that one. All right. Facebook people, if you'd like to join this conversation, please feel free to join us on TikTok at the Parlour Podcast and request. And that's the only way you can join the conversation. Also, YouTube people, if you want to join the conversation, feel free to follow us on TikTok at the Parlour Podcast and request. And that's the only way you can join the conversation. And TikTok people, we hit 10K likes. We're at 11K right now. Let's try to hit 20K. If we hit 20K, maybe we'll do an extra 30 minutes. But if we don't, and we go around these people that we have on stage, unfortunately, we'll have to call it a day. But in the meantime, let's keep liking, and hopefully we can get more people to join the conversation. All right, let's see. Les the Press, you have any thoughts, follow-up, pushback?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's hear your thoughts then.
Again, right, it's not like I want to sound unpatriotic. I love Nigeria, right? It's home, right?
And you can love Nigeria and hold Nigeria accountable. So don't feel bad that you're not. Don't. Let's not do that. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I can criticize, right? So
absolutely.
When people say, Nigerians are all over doing great things, why did they leave? Why did they leave? Why did my parents leave? Right? Like, I find that hilarious. I highly doubt that I would be living the sort of life that I have if I was back in Nigeria raised. I'm going to be honest, right? So when people say, Nigerians are doing great things in their country, I'm one of those Nigerians who will be like, okay, that's great. Why can't we do that in Nigeria, right? Why can't we do that in Nigeria? We say that, we're bringing up the GDP of other countries. Great. Why can't we do that? Why did my father have to leave? Because there were no jobs. Why did my mom have to leave? Because there were no jobs, right? And now they're raising kids who were raised outside Nigeria. Like, why did they have to leave? So I kind of find it, I find it so funny when people, it's great to pat ourselves on the back. You know, Nigeria has a lot of influence in the world culturally, right? But when we talk about the giant of Africa, I think it's only for two reasons: population, and we have a huge cultural reach because obviously we're everywhere in the world. You know what I mean? But you know what's so funny? And I want to say this. You know what's so funny? Nigeria once had a higher GDP per capita than China.
Mm.
And where's China now? China now is the second largest economy with a GDP per capita 10 times higher than Nigeria. Don't you find that funny? We were once higher than China in terms of GDP per capita. But due to bad governance, where are we now? What are we dealing with? We're dealing with a falling economy ranking.
Yeah, and let me even make this even that your analysis. Make I even make them even better. The Eastern region had a bigger GDP than Indonesia at some point. Just the Eastern region had a bigger economy, you know, GDP than Indonesia, a country, at some point.
Yeah, it's so funny because, like, listen, again, I love Nigeria, but I will not continue to allow ourselves to lie to each other. I will not. I will not. We are now the fourth largest economy in Africa. Our currency has been devalued. Okay? We have a low GDP per capita, right? We are 33rd on the continent when it comes to GDP per capita. I believe there's 54 countries. Is that giant status? I don't think so, right? We're dealing with huge insecurity.
Than Indonesia, a country, at some point.
But I would not continue to allow ourselves to lie to each other. Oh, I think there's a...
sorry about that. There was an echo. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah.
But I believe a giant is meant to have a level of stability, right? A level of security for its citizens. What's going on? We're dealing with Boko Haram in the Northeast. We're dealing with ISWAP in the Northeast. We're dealing with IPOB in the Southeast, right? So if we can't protect ourselves, what other nation are we going to, what nations are going to be depending on our military if we can't even protect ourselves, right? Back in the day, Nigeria used to do peacekeeping missions. Now, we're trying to keep the peace at home. You know, even when it comes to human development indexes, right? Do you know Nigeria has more people living less than $3 per day than anywhere else in the world, right? Do you know that a child born in Nigeria, based on the World Bank Human Capital Index, has a 36% chance of reaching their full potential due to failing health and education systems? Poor infrastructure. Only 32% of Nigerians have access to clean water, electricity, and there's decaying roads. Even weak governance. I believe we were ranked 140th out of 180 countries in terms of corruption. Leadership. Where's the leadership in Nigeria? When you look into like who's an actual leader in Nigeria, who do we think of? Who comes up in our mind? Like where it's just like, okay, like this leader makes me proud to be a Nigerian. I don't think of anybody. I don't think of any leader in Nigeria that I can say that, wow, this person is about Nigeria. This person is about like all Nigerians, regardless of tribe, religion.
I mean, if you include dead or alive, then you know there are some that some people could say.
Yeah, but dead, right? But I'm talking about alive, right?
Alive, yeah.
But yeah, this Nigerian makes me proud to be a Nigerian. Like when I hear this person speak, I'm filled in with pride. I'm filled in with pride that this person represents all of Nigerians, regardless of tribe, regardless of religion, that this man has Nigeria on his back, right? I don't think of anybody. when I think about leaders, when I think about the leaders that I look up to in Africa, Paul Kagame is number one, right? He's that person that I look up to, that I believe is the true leader of what Africa is. These other guys, I laugh. When I think about people in politics in Nigeria, you have people mentioning Wike, for God's sake. You know what I mean? So listen, Nigeria to me, a lot of potential, a lot of influence, but giants, please, we should stop lying to ourselves. We should stop lying to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Like, we're not protecting our people. Tribalism is still a problem. Like, people vote based on tribe and religion. People are suffering. There's no light. There's no electricity. Like, I think today, 50 women and girls were just kidnapped in Zamfara. Like, who are we fooling? Just stop it and just tell each other the truth. I will have more respect for someone who's willing to say the truth rather than just hide behind past glories, if I'm going to be honest.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? So that's just where I stand.
Fair enough. Let's press. Thank you. Let's go to Mr. Oye. How's the direct response to you, Mr. Oye? Let's hear your response.
It has become more difficult for me to respond when he said Paul Kagame is the leader I look up to. The same, because it sounds so Afropian, and that's one of the problems we have. Anyway, so
when you say Afropian, what does the term mean? I never heard that one before.
An African that is way more European than Europeans themselves.
Paul Kagame now Nigeria. I say Nigeria now, African man now.
Yeah. I mean, lest it sounds like that, because Paul Kagame has been taking money from the West to destabilize his region. So supporting rebels, sending weapons, intentionally, literally sold out. When you hear a sellout leader, an African sellout leader, Paul Kagame is at the top of that pyramid. Because so he's at the top of that pyramid, taking weapons from the West to fund wars around them, destabilizing nations around them. So so that's funny actually. But the reason why Nigerians travel a lot is the same reason that China travels. First of all, one of those things, when you have large population, the wealth distribution is improportionate automatically. Plus the fact that Nigerians were exposed to slavery, or let me say to some benefit of our masters at an early point. So we were putting ourselves in their shoes. Everyone wanted to live, not just because of money. Also, money played a role, not because there is no job. The reason why I left Nigeria is not because there was no job for me. Is because I had someone in my family that had traveled earlier and is always posting pictures. Those pictures look great. You also wanted to travel. So when you look at it, basically the majority of Nigerians that traveled in the early 2000s, or let me say early 90s, is not because of there is no job. No. It is because we want to live in the shoes of our master. We want to live in the environment of our masters. That's basically the reason. And as I said, we cannot solve our problem with Afropian mentality, or we want to, because you will not miraculously get to where you want to be. And that's why I always say, give us our kudos when we deserve it. The reason why there's so much insecurity across Nigeria right now is basically linked to people that travel out. Basically, even in the north, you hear the ideologies they are talking, because when you hear travel out, it's not just people that come to the west. The people destabilizing the north is because the majority of them are from Saudi Arabia and co. They want the ideology from Saudi Arabia because that's the only place they travel to. So when you look at it, is that influence. We go out, and then the only thing we pick to bring back is the lifestyle. We are not coming back, and that was what China was able to do. When China went out, China is not bringing the lifestyle back. They are bringing the knowledge. There's two different things. Lifestyle and knowledge is two different things. When you ask an average Nigerian what is development for you, the ones in abroad, they believe development is erasing our culture in its entirety. Oh, this house, there shouldn't be any village anymore because there is no village in New York City. That's what they tell you. There shouldn't be village. Why should there be village in Nigeria? But if there's no village, where do you think your food will come from? So somehow we are seeing Nigeria from the lens, or let me say from the lenses of our masters, but we cannot build Nigeria like that. And that's why I keep on pointing to the growth we've had. Now Nigeria has built a military drone center. It does not exist in any other part of Africa. And that's why I keep telling you that Nigeria is at the top. This guy was talking about the banking system. You said, oh, it's because the need of the people. No, it's because that technology is so expensive and rare that it takes so much to fund it. So banks do not do it. The reason why Nigeria is able to do that is because we have the capacity. For you to have an instant transaction, it's expensive. Even in the West, for example, now I'm using a different bank. For me to have to do instant transfer to another bank, my bank will charge me €1.50 per transaction. It's expensive. The technology is expensive, and Nigeria has been using it for how many years?
Let me ask you. I believe I've asked you this question before. I've asked somebody else this question before. Could it not be that their ABA routing code? Could it not be that all Nigerian banks are sharing one code that makes it? They have different names, but because they have that one code, they are internally banking on the same route. Could it not be that?
It was me you asked, and I answered you. I said, no, it's not because we have one routing code. It's actually a system. Our banking is centralized through that system. You see, that system is a clearance house. So for you to be part of it, they have to consistently upgrade their technology. For example, they did that 2025 again. So is what when you make a transaction, it goes through that. I forgot their name. They literally have a name. So it go through it instead of it to go through your bank automatically. It goes through that system, and then the system makes the clearance, returns it back to you, to your bank, and then send the code back to the bank you are transferring to.
I see.
You see, for you to maintain that technology is highly expensive. Even when the West, they are implementing it, they have to implement it gradually, and they are charging for it. So such things shows our level of advancement and the fact that we dominate that system. We are the top, we are the giant when it comes to IT. Yes, the infrastructure is not there. The ones that should have been built by our government is not there. But mental wise, capacity wise, we are still the giant. Yes, someone is asking me, NIBS, that's the system name. Someone is saying there's no drone assembly plant in Nigeria. It's literally there now. They started the operation last year, and there are many military companies springing up. We will not get there overnight, but these things will not fight our insecurity. I have to make disclaimer to that. There is no amount of weapons you secure that will fight our insecurity, because it's more of ideology than it is of fighting. So if the only way to do it, we have to unalive more civilians. And I do not want many Nigerians to be unalived. That's a fact. Because all these bandits you hear about, they are in communities, they have wives, they have children.
Yep.
People know them. So when military is searching for them, they hide within their people. So except to go and wipe out a whole village, we cannot do that anymore. We need to find a way to fight that battle ideologically. And it's going to be hard. Now, when you talk about schools, we are still the one leading, even though I believe, and I think this is my personal belief, that our education system is not where it should be, because I'm in Nigeria and I cannot be satisfied. But do you know that at every competition in Africa, the only people that win is Nigerians?
Literally, I don't know that
like
one, Sha. I don't know. I
yes,
don't know.
Sir. Even in English, we compete with English people. We still won last year.
I think I heard that one. I heard about that one. But competitions are great. Competitions are great. However, how about research? How about research?
A mathematics that has never been solved before in Japan 2 years ago. It was a Nigerian, one Yoruba guy.
Was the Nigerian trained in Nigeria?
Yes, he was trained in Nigeria.
I don't know. I don't hear that one anyway. Yes, I don't hear.
He was trained in Nigeria. So our doctors trained in Nigeria, they go abroad, they still go to the top. Meaning,
not necessarily go to the top, my brother. They do well. We can say they do well, but not necessarily go to the top. We can say they do well. They do well, right? Not necessarily go to the top. We're not the best surgeons in the world. We're not the best. Even family doctors, we're not the best in the world. You see what I'm saying?
The doctor that took out a baby child and then returned the baby back into the belly, he was trained in Nigeria before moving to US.
No, Ben Carson do that one.
No, Ben Carson was the brain surgeon.
Okay.
This one was very recent.
Fair enough.
Not up to 3 or 4 years ago. They moved the baby, removed the tumor that the child was having, returned the baby back, returned it back into the mother. He was trained in Nigeria before moving to US. So,
but again, that's an individual success. So I just like, I forget who talked the other night. It sounds like he's saying one making arguments sweet. That's an individual success. It's not a skill. Yes. You see what I'm saying?
Many of these individual successes is what comes together to put us as the giants. Access Bank is not dominating Ghana, Kigali, and Co. Not through our government. It's a private-owned company. But they took the banking there and they realized these people are still behind. Even though Germans built so much fine buildings, but you do not have the basic infrastructure, things that are supposed to make your life easy. Banking is the easiest way to make your life easy. You do not have it, so we give you. So at everything you point to in Africa, you see the hand of Nigeria in it. So how would you not make the argument that we are not the giants? There's no argument in it. We are, but we need to do more to bring these things to reality. We need to do more to make our life better at home, right? Even when you talk of agriculture, because I hear people, we do not produce enough food. There is no country in Africa that produces half of what Nigeria produces. And this is crazy because sometimes we forget our population, that population we also consume much. America they are literally the highest importer of literally everything.
Yeah.
The reason for that is basically because of their population and also because of the purchasing power. So when you want to make the argument of the counter, this is why I always say, forget about World Bank when you are ranking Nigeria or when you want to rate Nigeria economy. That on paper is just showing one part of it. The other part, because a whole lot of our economy is off paper. Without purchasing power, where do you think the importation, all these things we are importing, where do you think is being consumed? We are the largest importer of everything in Africa. But at the same time, we are still the largest producers of a whole lot of these things in Africa. Agriculture, there is no African country that produces half, I'm saying 50% of what we produce when it comes to agriculture. But somehow we are still the highest importer. It also means that we have the purchasing power. It's not written on paper. You can be working on Wall Street, you will miss the most important part, and that was why this company from South Africa failed, because they did not understand the Nigerian market. You need to understand the market first. The market is not on paper. If you close the book, it's off paper, and
Fair
then you
enough.
study it one by one. So we have the purchasing power, meaning we are not as poor as it is being projected. We do not have the basic infrastructures everywhere, like road, electricity, and that is what bad governance has done for us for a long time. But we are not as poor as it's been written on paper. Maybe in the core north, yes, but not in the south where I'm from. Not in
Fair
the
enough.
south. Yeah, so thank you, my brother. Let's move to the next person.
Thank you. I don't know. The only person waiting for pushback on your thoughts here now, Les the president, I think he left. But I think he left. Yeah, maybe he had something to go take care of. But we don't see any new guests requesting here, and we couldn't have our debate today. So I guess this is where we're going to call it a day for today. And tomorrow we're going to have a different topic to discuss. And by the way, this topic here, I had a monologue on it today. So please feel free to check it out on YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok. Feel free to check it out. And I appreciate everybody who come out today. But the few people will come out now. When I started the debate show, nobody could come out. They said that because the election we hold the other day don't demoralize everybody. You say?
Nah, the Abuja result.
Yeah, I think the Abuja result don't make everybody pack off.
people think election is won on social media. It's
Yeah.
not won on social media. You have to go to the ground.
The ground, absolutely. And I heard that the ADC, they didn't have any polling units, any polling agents in the units. It's ridiculous. If that's the case, I don't know if that's true, but if that's the case, I don't know, man. I really don't know what they're doing.
They are not as popular as they think they are.
Yeah, sadly.
They are not as popular as they think they are. How do you run election without polling agents?
Yeah. You have to pay them. You have to pay them.
Polling unit only brought out 7 people. In the place where he lives, only 7 people came out to vote for him. It means you're actually not as popular as you think. So people are a little bit disappointed because it sends a message that 2027 is gone.
Sadly.
Yeah, because if you lose badly in the capital city, which is where people are more, how do I put it? People are more open,
sophisticated.
To
yeah. They have more sophisticated voters there.
Yeah, so metropolitan cities is where when there is new ideology is when you test it.
Absolutely.
So if you lose in places like that, there is no hope. So people are they've been fighting since morning.
But Mr. Oye, make we not change the topic. I'm trying to close the show, and we'll see. Yeah, hopefully we can talk about it tomorrow, Mr. Oye. But thank you for your final submission, and I appreciate it. It sounds like you're still going to be in support
just
anyway.
No, it's just about what you just want.
All right, go ahead then.
I just wanted to mention about that polling agent. I just think it's sad that the Labour Party had the same issue in the last elections, and somehow the ADC didn't learn from that. How do we not learn from that? How can you not have polling agents? It's unacceptable as far as I am concerned. You cannot expect to win an election if you don't have polling agents, and then you say they rigged the election. You have to have polling agents. It's not. There's no two ways about it. That's just what I wanted to add to that.
Sadly, again, now here with me, I don't know, maybe you know for sure, but I hear.
No, they didn't have. I heard the same too.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case, because if that's the case, it's a shame. It's really not acceptable. But anyway, I thank all of you that we come today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. But until then, peace.
Good night, brother.
Thank you, my brother. Good night.